to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wolves Esports Euros Invitational. My name is John P. I'm going to be your host / caster for this evening, but I'm not doing this alone. I am joined by the one and only Daz. How are you today, my friend?
Very well. Excited for this. A few names to look out for, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, so just for you guys at home that don't know or haven't seen our social media promotions over the past week or so advertising this event, we've invited 16 of what we think are some of the best streamers out there within the FIFA content creation industry. And we have given them the 16 teams that are, of course, unless you guys have been living under a rock, I don't know why you're watching FIFA if you don't know that the Euros are happening right now. We've given them each one team that is in the final 16 of the Euros. And we are going to be playing out a bracket sort of format for you guys this evening, to see whether or not football's going to potentially be coming home back to England or for Daz's front, Scotland. But anyways, I'm really excited. You said that there's a few players to look out for in particular. Let's just get into a bit of a discussion about that straight off the break. Who are you looking out for today, Daz?
Ellie Maynard. He's the one everyone seems to be tipping him for the trophy. Top 200 player every single week. Serge HD is definitely one to look out for in terms of going out first round. I reckon NYK Chaza and his NYK army will have something to say about his early exit. So Ellie and NYK Chaza, I think, are the two to definitely look out for.
Yeah, we were speaking a little bit prior to this broadcast, and we were talking about, how these guys, they stay true to the content creation side of things. They've been really, doing well on the whole promotional side of things leading up to this.
Yeah.
One or two people in particular are, of course, Serge as well as Chaza. They've been sort of making their own little funny videos over the past few days saying, like, today's the day. I'm ready to get into the bracket and take him down. I think that's actually one of the first games we're going to watch this evening once it starts. It's going to be getting on the way in a few minutes for you guys. But you said that Chaz is obviously the player to look out for in terms of this competition. We know that he's a very strong player. You mentioned he's had it is very rare, should I say, that he finishes outside the top 200, for example, within the Champs and Weekend League every single week. So really interested to see how the likes of the Surge will, sort of match up against him. Someone who's more traditionally in terms of like a content creator that does it for the funny content, in opposed to
gold three as his limit, I'd say.
Yeah, just stuck in that gold 3 bracket.
That's it.
Listen, I'm not going to say that I do much better. I think, like, the last time I played Weekend League, I scraped like an Elite 2 finish or something like that, and I was like, cool, I'm retiring. I'm done. Right. I said, I'm done for the year.
That's it. And, quit while you're ahead.
Quit while I'm ahead. So the teams that we are going to be seeing, I do believe, for these two are France versus... I've just got the bracket up on my screen here. Do you know what team France are playing?
Switzerland.
France versus Switzerland. So... obviously, as soon as you hear the word France, you immediately look at the likes of an Mbappe, for example, up front for that team. You've obviously got Benzema as well. You've got the likes of a Kante and Pogba midfield duo as well. So, there's a lot of good players in particular on the squad of France. So, no doubt. And I think it is actually going to be Serge who has France. He's going to be, definitely feeling the momentum and the upper hand in this. However, Daz, I think if you want to explain to the people at home that these players are actually capped at a certain overall.
They are, yes. So every player is 90 rated. So it'll be interesting to see. You're not really getting so much of an advantage if you are France. Against the likes of Switzerland. It doesn't matter if you've got Mbappe, Benzema, Griezmann up top. Switzerland will have Big Severovic. They'll all be the same rating. The only sort of difference or things to look out for is your body types. I mean, for example, Mbappe will have that sort of lean body type. He'll still run through people, he'll still phase through people. We know what FIFA's like. So maybe that might give Serge a slight little advantage for all of maybe 10 minutes before the NYK army come for him. So.
Yeah, and I think, one thing that I always say when I play FIFA as well is, you're never really out of a FIFA game unless you say like 3 or 4-0 down with like 5 or 10 minutes to go, right? We've seen so many crazy things. One situation I always point to or sort of make an example of is, I think it was 2 seasons ago in the EPL, where we saw Tech score like 2 goals within the last 3 minutes in a game when he was playing with Liverpool, and I think he was using Calvert-Lewin, who scored like a 95th minute header or something like that. I think that was like FIFA 19 or FIFA 20 or something like that. So there is literally no such thing as not enough time within FIFA. So even if Serge, he might start off, relatively well, go 1 or 2 and up maybe early doors. Someone with the experience like Chaza, for example, they're going to know that, okay, look, it's not the end of the world. I'm a good enough player. I finish inside the top 200, top 100, whatever it is every single week. I know I've got the tool set to really, over time, get myself back into this.
Yeah, no, totally agree.
Yeah, so we are just going to be waiting for this first game to start. I'm intrigued to see the way these teams perform. Both players are just doing their final changes. Any particular formations you'd like to see? I know the likes of Serge, for example, will play like I think he's going to play a 4-3-3 with the one holding midfielder and two centre midfielders just slightly advanced. And he has obviously, I think it's going to be Mbappe and Griezmann either side on the right and the left with Benzema up top potentially. I know a lot of players seem to go towards that 4-3-3 formation this year. Is there any particular formations that you'd like to see come out throughout the competition today?
I'm a big fan of the 4-3-1-2, although I'm expecting a lot of these underdogs, if you like, to use a 5 at the back. It seems to be the most effective in terms of trying to, damage limitation, if you like, especially against these better players. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of those, but for sure, the 4-3-1-2 is definitely my go-to.
Yeah, we are going to kick things off here. Underway, it's France versus Switzerland. France kicking from left to right, Switzerland from right to left. I do believe we've got France in the white away strip for you guys this evening. And one thing to mention is, obviously at this level of FIFA here, Daz, if you was going to probably throw, the lesser players, the likes of like a silver or a gold type of player, for example, they would just probably just fly straight out of the bat, try and attack after attack. But these guys here, they've been around the block for a little bit. They know that sometimes keeping the ball is the best way to go forward, and try to keep the ball is Serge, but
he's doing very well here. He kept it, but that's it. I mean, for Serge, he looks, look at his face. He is concentrating like I've never seen in my life. His lips are right touching that mic. He's so focused.
Yeah, it's safe to say quite a few, energy drinks might have been consumed prior to the start of this competition, trying to lock that focus in as much as possible. But bit of a cagey start here so far for the side of Switzerland, as looks like France have got the slight upper hand in this. But like I said, we're already 10 minutes into the game, so nothing too much to worry about should you be, part of that Chazza army that we always talk about, as all currently at the feet of Fernandez into Shaqiri to Mohammedi. Unfortunately, just loses control of the ball as he was about to pull the trigger with his left foot, and that's going to be catching practice there for, do you believe that's Areola in goal? As when you're playing with the likes of a France, for example, a team that, okay, let's forget that should these players have, full stats in terms of capped at 90. What sort of play style are you going for? When you've got the likes of a Pogba and Kante in midfield, they can recover the ball so well, and they're so good technically on the ball. Sometimes just keeping possession and moving the ball and waiting for your opponent pretty much to make the mistake is the way to go.
Yeah, 100%. I think that kind of looks like what Serge is going for here. He's been quite patient with his passing. Yeah, he's getting into Pogba's feet. He's looking in for that ball in behind for Mbappe, who obviously has exceptional pace. So yeah, he seems to have a plan behind him. That's for sure.
Ball now at the feet of Shaqiri once more. We know what he can do with that left foot. The ball back to Shaqiri after a fantastic one-touch play. Intercepted, however.
Chazza does love that bridge. Chazza's trying that bridge on the edge of the box to try and pull Serge away, but he's doing well. It's a nice counter-attack.
Yeah, and this is where, the likes of France are so good on the break. That quick one-touch football to get him on the counter-attack. And as I say that, I think it was Griezmann with a pop shot with his right foot there at the edge of the box. And
Serge is getting into the game. He's coming into the game well. He started well, 18 minutes in, and he's and now they're away.
Shaqiri going to try and set the ball back. Fantastic shot. And you can see there the fist bump coming through from Serge as a huge block. I think it was Varane once again at the back. The veteran at the back for France there always knows where to be in the right times, at the right places. As now we're starting to see Chazza start to get a foothold in this game here. Daz, he's starting to build himself a little bit more confidence. And it wouldn't surprise me if we start to see him knocking on the door a few more times before the end of the first half.
No, 100%. I feel like Chazza was maybe trying to suss out Serge, see how Serge is going to play this game. Because Serge is coming out a little bit at him, now Chazza's just keeping the ball, knocking around him. Chazza's very, very experienced in this game, and he knows how to get around this kind of defence.
Yeah, one thing you mentioned as well is that bridge, right? I mean, we see it so many times. I feel like every single year within FIFA, there's a skill move that is very much overused, and this year it seems to be the bridge. I know we had the Croqueta last season, for example, that you could literally just spam over and over again. It was almost impossible for these players to touch the ball. But as I say that, though, ball at the feet of Shaqiri, trying to whip it onto that favoured left foot. He does, and a fantastic save from Areola.
Great save.
As once again here, Daz, we're seeing Chaz really start to come into it.
There's that bridge, knocks it past the defender as well. Serge is on the ropes a little bit here. He's struggling to get out now. And it's a free kick on the edge of the box. This could be dangerous. Shaqiri on that left foot.
Yeah, we know how good Shaqiri can be. As wouldn't surprise me if we see the Swiss man take a direct shot here.
He is getting a few men on the line. Don't know how effective it'll be. Oh, very effective. There you go. Did the right thing.
Yeah, I think that might have been Pogba with the header and the clearance off the line here, and ball drops to the feet of Griezmann. We are going to see the number 7 now play the ball out wide towards Hernandez, and Hernandez is going to try and gallop down that left-hand side as tries to find.
Try to force it.
And that's one thing we see a lot, Daz, right, within especially sometimes high-level FIFA, but more so if you're looking at the likes of like a gold or an elite player. Sometimes it's just having that composure in the final third, not overplaying it when you need to, just remaining composed on the ball and waiting for that gap to appear. And, unfortunately does bite Serge in the foot a little bit there. But again, this is just constant pressure here from Chazza. I'm not too sure what sort of in-game tactics he's playing, but it wouldn't surprise me if we have a sort of constant pressure or team press from him here. As the left foot shot just goes slightly wide there.
Serge is looking a little bit nervous now. He's looking a little bit nervous. He cannot get out, and playing it short there, that's showing a little bit of confidence though, to be fair.
Yeah, it's just wave after wave of attack, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing here from Chazza. I mean, you guys at home that might be a bit more of a few casual FIFA players, you won't really notice it as much as the likes of myself or Daz even, but the manual selection on each player here to sort of really press and drag his players out and force the mistakes here from the side of France for the back post header, and it's Serge who puts his team 1-0 ahead. I think it was Pogba at the back post with a bullet header into the bottom left-hand corner. Fantastic. I'm not too sure who it was down the right-hand side. It might have been Griezmann who stood the ball up at the back post. But we mentioned that all it takes is one chance, Daz, with a game of FIFA.
That is a turn up for the books, but I cannot believe that's just happened. I don't think Serge could believe it either. But we are away now, 1-1. He's moved the goalkeeper, and just like that, it's 1-1.
Yeah, and we mentioned how quickly things can turn around within a game of FIFA, and you can see there for Serge. He's not very happy about that, as what was
moving the goalkeeper. I do believe it is a skill. I use it myself, and sometimes it works wonders. But for there, you see Serge. If he hadn't moved them, would he have saved it? Possibly.
And I think it's become a regular theme that we see, especially I know within sort of, let's say, the high level elite or the top 100, top 200, for example, in terms of moving that goalkeeper. But sometimes it can become a little bit predictable, I mean, so many players usually expect to shoot across goal. That's why sometimes in, high level competitions within either, the World Cup, for example, or any sort of, regional qualifiers, we see it all the time. So many near post goals, do hit the back of the net because sometimes, the player just expects you to move the keeper, but that's going to be Shaqiri. You nick the ball ahead of the right back as Pogba's back to make a fantastic last man tackle. That is a huge challenge there for the Man United.
Good half from Serge. I'm actually quite impressed. He held it well. Chazza's so strong though. The pressure is unbelievable. I don't know how effective it'll be or how much of an impact it'll have on the stamina for the Swiss players, but Chazza's all over him at the moment. But fair play to Serge. He kept him selling it.
Yeah, Serge seems to be definitely, holding his own at the moment. I wouldn't say, he's extremely comfortable within this game just yet. I think there was sort of like a 20 to 25 minute period there in that second half, even before he scored the goal with a fantastic header, by the way, from Paul Pogba at the back post. He was really under the cosh a little bit, the pressure was on. Chazza was pressing really high up the pitch. He was really, at points there was his centre-backs were, in between the halfway line and Serge's edge of his 18-yard box. That's how high up he was playing. And every time he would recover the ball, it looked like he was in a chance to score. But going into the second half here, what a piece between France and Switzerland at the moment. And, that things could be a lot worse for Serge here. So he's definitely still in this.
No, absolutely. There was a lot of talk before the game. Like I say, Chazza's NYK Army were giving Serge absolute pelters, saying it was going to be a bit of a whitewash, but fair play to him. He's away now, again. Save.
Yeah, fantastic stop there from the keepers. Again, a little bit of early pressure. We saw this at the start of the first half here, though, Daz. It looked like it was going to be Serge who come out flying for the squad of France, and it's exactly the same again as the ball's whipped in. Pogba trying to find the near post header, does get beaten in the air. However, ball drops back to Kante, who lets fly from about 25 yards. And
that was ambitious, Serge.
You got to do well to beat the Swiss number one from there. And, there's one player that you probably want there. It's probably not Kante, who hasn't got the best of finishing. And
there was a bridge there from Chazza. So effective at times.
Oh, Pogba's actually going to lose the ball on the edge of the penalty area, but does great to recover it. And Serge really living on the edge of a knife right now, playing a you know, to the best of his abilities to keep things simple, but sometimes he overcomplicates it and nearly gets caught on the edge of his own penalty area there. And with someone as good as Chazza, you can't afford to make mistakes because, boy, will he punish you.
Absolutely. I feel like Serge needs to take any chance he gets. I did notice as well, the screen wasn't showing, but it's 2-1. Chazza, just like that.
And we've literally just highlighted as it is going to be Stefan who bags the second goal for the Swiss team and puts Chazza 2-1 up. We mentioned sometimes, you know, you lose the ball against the likes of a top 100, top 200 player, and they will make you pay, and that's exactly what happened. Serge gets the ball nicked off him on the, not even at the edge of his penalty area at that time, but on the halfway line, and just before you know it, a few quick, you know, combinations of one-touch football puts the Swiss man through as drives to the byline this time as the ball does get pulled back to the edge of the 18-yard box. It's Stefan once again, another fantastic tackle, but the ball's still at the feet of the striker. Shaqiri tries to let fly and Pogba's there. Now, France, looks like they're going to go ahead and go down the other side and try to put some sort of counter-attack together. But at the moment, I think we're starting to see Serge panic a little bit here, Dad. He seems to be rushing a few things, you know, and getting some quite simple passes wrong. As I say that, a fantastic through ball from Pogba. It's Benzema. Tries to shift it back onto that right foot. The ball towards the back post. And it's Pogba.
He's got to score that. He's got to score that.
How has Pogba missed?
He's not. I was just about to say earlier on before Chazza scored the goal, but I did notice. I don't know if Serge has noticed, but he's got Pogba playing up front and there's 5 at the back formation. I don't think that's meant he's got Griezmann playing centre mid. I don't know if it's a tactic for these wee crosses for the headers, but I've never ever seen it before, so I'm not too sure if it's meant. And that, if that was a striker, Benzema on the end of that instead of Pogba, it could have been a goal.
Yeah, and it's just those minor details as Varane makes a crunching last man tackle there. Fantastic from the Frenchman, the veteran centre-back, knowing too well to sniff out the danger should he need to. But here's Pogba through on goal, just offside. I would love to have seen a little VAR line draw on that one. That looks very tight, to say the least. But now it is going to be Switzerland who goes down the other route. Oh, his composure, please, Chazza.
You're talking about composure, how important it is, and that just goes to show you. For the likes of Chazza, I would expect him to take that down and slot it home, but he's away now again, no.
As all it took there was just the ball to be cushioned on the chest of Stefan and just smashed it home. But as we say that, fantastic back heel. It's going to fall to Shaqiri, twists and turns, tries to get it on that left foot, back on the left foot, and it's a fantastic block once again from Varane. How many times have we seen the centre-back there sniffing out the danger with a last-ditch tackle? The ball's still alive, however.
Serge can't get out again. It's the pressure. Chazza's pressure is phenomenal.
And this is why he's one of the best players inside the top 200, and he finishes there so consistently. He really knows how to turn it on when he needs to, and the constant pressure comes through. Fantastic twist and turn. Shaqiri finds Stefan in the middle of the penalty area. He shuffles it onto that left foot and smashes it past Areola.
It was another mistake that we were talking about. Serge is starting to panic a little bit, especially at the back with that pressure. It's so hard to get out. I know it myself. I've been in those situations. Sometimes it's better to just punt out to play and start again, but Serge is panicking. It's cost him another goal.
Yeah, it was actually Mohamedi there in the box, sorry, not Stefan. As straight from kickoff, you can see, I think Serge is feeling the pressure a bit here.
You can see as well the NYK army are in, sending the shush emote of NYK, Chazza. That's not going to be helping matters. 15
minutes to go here. There's still a lot of time left in this game, but you got to think if you're Serge, you've got to do something to pull a goal back and reduce the deficit before we go into the last 10 minutes. And Mbappe was through. I think that might have been the first sniffing of the whole game for Mbappe there. And you would put your money, you'd put your house, even your life savings on someone like Mbappe finishing that off. And as we see that, the ball gets turned over, and it's Shaqiri streaming through on goal to make it 4-1. He crosses the ball, but Pogba's there to head her away.
Again, we keep mentioning it, composure. Serge has that chance one-on-one with Mbappe. Yeah, you want to shoot, but the man was on his own in the middle.
I think that just hit the post there as well from,
I think it did, yeah.
From Chazza as well.
He's all over them. I can sense on a goal. Serge got away with that one. Got away with that one. He needs a goal. Needs a goal ASAP.
But just look at the constant pressure. It's impossible for Serge to get out here. This is a real, guys, if you want to learn how to play high pressure and constant pressure FIFA, this is pretty much a pure clinic here Chaz is putting on. Every single time the ball is at the feet of a French player, you've got one of the Switzerland 11 there to just nick the ball off and shut him down before he can even do anything. And there you go, fantastic interchange of football. A 1-2, puts Mohamedi through onto the left foot, into the top corner. As it's 4-1 now for Switzerland.
Game, set and match.
This has been a pure clinic, especially in this second half here. We saw it in the first half, though. That's a very cagey start to the game for Chazza, as we saw, it was actually Serge who went 1-0 up for France. As since then, though, I think that was just a bit of a reminder. As soon as that first goal went in, I think we saw the whole atmosphere of Chaz's play change slightly and thought, okay, we're actually in a bit of a game here. We do want to win. And a complete change of dynamic as once again the 1-2 comes through. Shaqiri's through on goal. No doubt the ball's going to be squared for a tap-in. As he does,
he's absolutely smashed it. And there you go. That's the difference. He could have tried to pass it, but he realised that the defender was in the way, took the shot instead as Serge moved the goalkeeper.
It's just pure clinic. Like, it's just a clinic. It literally really is. There's no other way of describing this attacking, counter-attacking football from Chazza than just pure lethal. It sort of reminds me of the likes of a Leicester City title-winning season, right, where they would just be dominated in terms of possession, but every time they got the ball, they would do something while going forward. As finally we see a clever bit of footwork, but there we go, guys. That's going to be full time. 5-1 to Switzerland, and it is going to be Chazza who advances through to the final 8 into the quarterfinals here. We will wait and see a little bit later on who he plays, but Zaz, what a performance out of Chazza, and obviously commiserations to Serge.
100%. Yeah, do you know what? Serge kept himself in it, especially at half-time. He still won 1, and then the class showed from Chazza. He is an unbelievable player. He hits Elite 2 without even trying most of the time. So, do you know what? Fair play to him. I don't know if Chazza maybe holding back a little bit, just giving Serge a little bit of a chance near the end. I can see Chazza on stream just now, just gloating a little bit. He's enjoying it. Serge did not enjoy that in the end, so now fair play to Chazza.
Yeah, and again though, let's not take anything away from Serge. He played very, very well in the first half, and there were points throughout that first half where we thought, okay, we didn't really give Serge much chance coming into this. However, he's playing some good football. He's interchanging the ball quite well. His forwards and wingers were pretty much hitting the overlap every single time, and I just want to cast my mind back to that missed Pogba header. At 3-2 down. That goes in, and we're heading into the last 5 or 10 minutes of a completely different game. Chazza might sort of try to shut up shot, potentially switch formations around, get more bodies in midfield and at the back as well. That obviously didn't happen. He missed pretty much a sitter, and from that next goal kick, I'm pretty sure Chazza went down the other end and scored to make it 3-1, or 4-1 rather, sorry. So, small minor details, and we see it all the time, especially in, the real life side of things in football, that you'll see a chance and you'll know, okay, we're going to rue that missed chance, and then 2 or 3 minutes later, the other team scores. And that's exactly what happened, unfortunately, for Serge.
Yeah, we said the word of the stream there, the game there was composure. So, and that just, Serge didn't have it, and then they lost a couple of goals from not having that composure at the back, especially with Chazza's. I think we need to make a point of that. The pressing from Chazza is something I need to go and speak to him and learn a wee bit about it from him. But Jesus, it was absolutely crazy. It was relentless at times. Serge had no chance to get out. So fair play to Serge for putting up a bit of a fight. But like you say, he finishes that chance, could have been a completely different game. Yeah,
obviously, let's not forget that these players are all capped at 90 overall, so there is somewhat of an even playing field. It's safe to say I don't think Chazza would have been able to play that high attacking, pressing football with the likes of a Switzerland should they be at their normal rating. I think they're like a 4-star team, I think, or 3.5-star team when it comes to actual ratings. Whereas you've got the likes of a France, who are obviously one of the best teams in the game in terms of international wise, I think. So that obviously did play as a key factor. However, it's just one thing I highlighted throughout the game in particular was the manual selection of each player and the precise attention to detail. Sometimes in past FIFAs, FIFA 19, FIFA 20, we knew how OP sometimes AI and CPU defending was. That the game pretty much defended for you in terms of dragging players out for you. In FIFA 21, it's obviously a slightly different ball game with that reduced AI defending. You've got to be more, capable of actually selecting those players and knowing how to play the game of football itself. We saw Chazza do it to perfection, and there were so many times where, sometimes the player that was trying to track the runner was the player that Chazza had selected, and he was sort of letting the AI just go to the person with the ball, and it's so small things like that which helped him recover the ball so easily, intercept the ball in and around the 18-yard box, and sort of set up for those devastating counter-attacks.
Yeah, no, it's just those little differences that you say. You can spot it a mile away who who hits Elite 2 consistently, and Chaza is that man. And like I say, those little things, manual switching for me, I'm useless at it. Even to this day, I've hit Elite 5 times this year though, so I'd like to say, it'd be interesting to see where I'd finish in this tournament. I shouldn't speak too soon though, just in case I get offered the chance and that's me out first round. But Chaza's, like I say, we spoke about it before the game. We knew he's going to be one of the favourites. Those little details are what makes him the player that he is. So hopefully Serge enjoyed his day. I just seen that he raided over to the channel now as well to enjoy the rest of it, and probably drown his sorrows watching the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, if you if you can't beat him, join him. That's safe to say.
Exactly
we do appreciate that raid coming over from. You said it was Serge, correct? So we do appreciate that. So commiserations to you, Serge. Very well played. Got to get back on the training field slightly and practice those back post crosses for those headers. This isn't FIFA 20 or FIFA 19 anymore. The game doesn't do it for you. As I think it's safe to say Serge was trying to reminisce his old school FIFA days there, because if that was like FIFA 19 or FIFA 20, I think you'd probably been about 3 or 4 up in the first half or first hour or so.
Yeah.
But yes, we are going to be moving on to our next game relatively soon. I think we are going to be watching Jay Coyle, which is obviously another player that does represent Wolves in terms of content creation. So, one of your colleagues, should I say, or teammates over at Wolves Esports. And, quickly while we're waiting for this game, let's talk about Wolves Esports, itself. We've really seen, the esports side of things, especially within, sort of mainstream organizations and football clubs, start to explode over the past 18 to 24 months or so within this lockdown. And I know Wolves themselves have picked up a load of content creators. Do you want to just tell the people at home sort of how you went about getting picked up and how Wolves sort of approach you and what it's like being a part of, pretty much a professional football club, which you are, of course, FC.
No, 100%. For me, it was just about doing what I was doing. I was really enjoying what I was doing. It wasn't even planned as such, if you like. I started a TikTok, just got a bit of context, started a TikTok. It blew up a little bit. I started streaming, and then opportunities like this have come along, which is, for me, one of the opportunities I wanted to do was join a football club. You just said it there. The sort of chances of what we can do with Wolves Esports is going to be crazy. The kind of content that we can create, and it's mad that even to this day I'm sitting thinking, I can't believe I'm representing an actual football team, a professional football team. And the chats that I had with the lead content manager and things like that about the plans for the future is unbelievable. Everyone's got so much backing for it as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I get on like really well with Jordan and Serge as well. So to get them on board as well as other guys that were announced recently, really looking forward to it, and it's good. It's mad, absolutely mad.
Yeah, I think especially within esports, within the football industry, it's only going to go from strength to strength as well. We've obviously got the likes of the Premier League, where all these players play through open qualifiers to represent the likes of Wolves, Man United, Man City, Tottenham, Chelsea, whatever it is, at a big final at the end of the season. And no doubt we're just going to continue to see growth from within esports and not just Wolves Esports itself. So, who knows? I might have to brush up on my FIFA skills and give you guys some content ideas and try and play you guys on stream at some point. Trust me, you don't want to see that. I'm probably one of the worst FIFA players you'll ever see in your life.
It'll be Spurs John P in no time.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm too strongly opinionated for that, to say the least. As we are just getting things lock and loaded, ready for our second game. Like I said, we are going to be seeing Jay Coyle. He's going to be playing as Iceland, I do believe, today. And that's one of the teams that are actually being substituted for Croatia, I do believe. Because funny enough, they've got one of the best centre midfielders of all time in Luka Modric, or at least for the past decade or so. But apparently they're not on FIFA, so we are going to see Iceland taking their place in this final 16. As an England fan myself, I'm glad that they're not actually in the final 16 of Euro 2022 this year, having vivid PTSD and flashbacks to a few years ago. But we are going to see them taking on...
Looks like Switzerland again.
So we are going to see Chaza. This is the first quarterfinal of this evening for you guys. As we'll have to wait for some confirmation on what the first score was for Jay Cole. Obviously, he must have Jay Coyle. Sorry, not Jay Cole. Won't be dropping any mixtapes anytime soon, I don't think. But let's talk about this. You'll know Jay Coyle relatively well yourself, being obviously a fellow Wolves Esports content creator. Do you know much about his finishes within Weekend League? Is he an avid FIFA player? Does he like to put in the hard work to try and get the best placement, or is he sort of just play a full bronze team in Weekend League and do it for the content?
Yeah, no, he tries. He tries his best. Well, shall we say? You take me for saying that, but nah. Do you know what? Apparently, I've heard he's played a few of the boys that are in the competition offline before they started today, and I think he's got some good results. So you never know. He could be a little dark horse, but again, if we're gonna see Chaz again here, we know what he can do. Jordan, he could be a surprise. He could be a surprise. I'm not so sure though.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. I do believe we are just waiting for a few other games to finish because we want to try, keep this traditional as much as possible and have all the games kick off at the same time. I love it when they do that on like the last day of the Premier League, by the way. You just have like the live updates come up on your screen and like, oh no, my team's going to get relegated, or in my case, we're going to play in the Europa League, for example, next season instead of the Champions League. So we are just waiting on the confirmations on those final games. But look, we're all football fans here, no doubt. That's why you guys at home are watching. I want you guys in the chat to let us know who you're actually thinking is going to win not only the Wolves Esports Euro Invitational, but the Euros itself in terms of the real life football side of things. We were speaking a little bit about this as well, Daz. I know you're heavily back in Wales, if I'm correct, of course, because Scotland aren't in this stage of the competition, which to me as an England fan isn't much of a surprise. I don't want to offend any of the
He's steady now. Come on now.
It's started.
I've got a few Scottish fans in the chat right now. I can see him. Where's David Dora? My boy David Dora. Help me here. I think we're alone here in this chat.
I can hear the people with the pitchforks and knocking on.
That's it.
Yeah, let's talk about general football in terms of there's lots going on in the world of football right now in terms of either transfers, but I want to speak more about the Euros because that's what we're obviously here about. Obviously myself, I'm going to be heavily back in England, even though all they do apparently year after year is disappoint me. In my friends' sweepstakes, I've got the likes of a Portugal and a Sweden, so I'm a little bit more optimistic on that hope. But we were speaking about one team that's really surprised us is Italy. Daz, I know you said that they look very, very solid yourself, and I think they probably look one of the most consistent teams overall in terms of their group at the moment. They've looked very, very solid, and I think Roberto Mancini's done a great job, especially after not qualifying for the World Cup a few years ago.
Yeah, it's typical Italy. The defensive side of things, they're just absolutely solid. And a lot of people do talk about the fact that the teams that they've come up against haven't quite been that much of a challenge yet. And it's always, let's see how they are against a tougher opponent. But you know what? For me, they're the only team that I've looked at and thought, nah, they're going to win. They could win. France have had a couple of blips here and there, not looked too comfortable against the likes of Portugal the other night. But Italy, for me, at the moment, are the team to beat.
Well, let's just talk about results in terms of the Wolves Esports Euro Invitational, and let's start off with that team, Italy. They may be performing and impressing us within the real world of football, but they have actually lost 3-2 to Austria in terms of the virtual side of things here. For our Euro Invitational, we saw England pick up a 6-1 win over Germany, which I'm not too sure is too realistic.
I hope that's not a sign of things to come.
If that is anything to come on Tuesday night, I think we played, then it's safe to say that from now on, the 29th of June will be a national holiday for England fans. Netherlands did lose 6-0 to the Czech Republic. We obviously saw Iceland go through. That's going to be the next game that we watch. They beat Spain 4-1. And Denmark actually beat Wales 9-0. So it's safe to say we're going to be looking out for the players who plays for England, plays for the Czech Republic, and play for Denmark this evening. And I know you've got those players that you can chat about them a little bit more.
Yeah, I was just looking at that there just now just to remind myself. So, England beating Germany, you're talking Boulardinho, one of my good friends. He is a very good player. He hits elite every single week. Very good result. I wasn't expecting that against Mawson. Now, Mawson, he's another elite player. The thing is, for him, that I would say, the only slight sort of excuse that he may have is the fact that it was on PlayStation. He is a major Xbox player, and I did see him talking about how small the controller was and all that kind of thing. So that's probably going to be his excuse for that 6-1 absolute drubbing. And then we had Italy, who was BPM, so Bronze Pack Method Man, and he played against Austria, which was, check, Jay Denman. So that was a really tight game. I think it was 3-2 to Austria. So Jay Denman, again, another player, another elite player. I did actually put Bronze BPM as my dark horse for the tournament, but he's fell short of the first hurdle. So I'm a bit gutted about that. I've seen him, he posts his results of the weekend league. Always looks like he could do well, but not to be this today. Who else do we have? 4-1 Croatia. That was actually Iceland. So Iceland we had Spain. That was against Plut. So my boy Plut, again, another Xbox player playing on PlayStation today, and that was against the man who I think we're going to watch next is Jordan Coyle. So there you go, 4-1 win, and Plut is a good player as well. So you don't know, there's a couple of surprises could be happening.
Yeah, so let's talk about the bracket quickly as well. I've got it open on my screen here, so I do apologise to you guys at home if I'm looking down. We've got Cleverzix, who is playing as Portugal. He's going to be taking on Jay Denman, who is Austria, of course. We've got Chazza and going up against Jordan Coyle. We literally just spoke about that. We'll get more into that specific game in a minute once we switch over to the screens. You've got Foot Chris, who is playing as Sweden, taking on Bullardino next. You said Bullardino is obviously a good pal of yours. He's a very good elite player. I'm not too sure about Chris. I don't know if you know a lot about Chris and how you can talk about that matchup. If you think it's going to be quite tight, or
is that Chris against Bullardino? You said, yeah.
Yes, Chris versus Bullardino. That's going to be one of our quarterfinals.
Yeah, so Chris is again another good player. A lot of these players, I mean, they are elite players. Chris has hit it a good few times this FIFA, so that's going to be. I think that's going to be a really good game as well. So a lot of good matchups, and do you know what? For me, I'm going to have to sit on the fence and get some pillars for it, but I think Bully will win that one. But Chris, he's a good player.
Yeah, and to finish things off in our final quarter-final, it is the FIFA Addicts who are representing Wales taking on the Czech Republic, which is Lad to Dad as well. I do think we are going to try and find a different game other than Chaz's game to watch, as we've already given him a lot of screen time this evening, and we want to, try and see if he can perform off stream as well as on the stream at the same time. So we are just trying to see if we can find a different game to watch. There are a few good games. One game I want to watch in particular is that game between Chris and Bullardino as well, because I think it's going to be a really intriguing fixture. And obviously I just want to see if England can actually win something for once in their life. But yes, there's just a few minutes, guys, until we wait and finalise that. I think we are waiting for one other game to finish so we can set up completely our final 8 for our quarterfinals. But in terms of I want to get a bit of an early prediction here. It's the worst thing you can do as a commentator or caster, Daz, because whatever you say, I guarantee you the exact opposite will happen from what you predict. I'm going to read the fixtures out for you, and within about 5 or 10 seconds I just want you to give me a sort of a scoreline and a winner, okay? So let's go for Portugal versus Austria. That's Jay Denman versus Cleverdix.
I reckon it's going to be Jay Denman 3 and Dev. I'm going to say 3 as well. That's going to go extra time, that one, and then Dev's going on penalties. I'm going all out for that one. That's going to be a good game.
And then we've got Chazza versus Jay Coyle.
I reckon Chaz is going to run through him, put him back down where he should be. So I reckon another 5-1. Another 5-1 for Chazza.
Sure, we've got Czech Republic versus Wales, which is FIFA Addicts versus Lads to Dads.
Yeah, so I think that one's LA. I don't know what's happened with the graphics. I think it's LA that beat, because LA is another top 100 player. So I don't think he lost 9-0 against the FIFA Addicts. I think it is the other way about. So I reckon Lad to Dad with a 6-0 win as well. That one might be a lot closer than people think. But I'm going to say LA will win 4-2.
Yes, and the game that I do believe we are going to watch on screen, which is Foot Chris versus Bullardino. You said this is going to be quite a tight game, and you could even potentially, see this going either way. Give me a bit more of a breakdown as to what formations you're going to expect to see, etc., before giving me your prediction.
Yeah, I reckon I'm not too sure or too familiar with the formations that either of them play, although what I would say is I played against Bullardino, we matched up each other in the weekend league, and he beat me 3-1. So for me, I think I would have to edge slightly with Bully, but I'm reckoning a 4-2, do you know what, a 4-3-3, or 4-3-1-2, 4-2-2, things like that. I reckon that's what we'll be seeing.
All right, so here it goes. We are going to kick things off between Sweden and England. Sweden in the yellow kit, kicking from left to right. England in the traditional white and navy, kicking from right to left. As we are going to see Chris taking on Bullardino. We know he can do it in the Soccer AM car park. Can he do it here on the Wolves Esports Euro Invitational, to say the least? As I think early on it looks like we've got the likes of a Grealish and a Sterling starting, as well as a Sancho, Rashford, and no doubt we might even potentially... We might actually see quite an attacking formation here for the squad of England. I'm not too sure if it's a 4-3-3 or what sort of formations the likes of Grealish is playing in. Sometimes we see Grealish out wide, but it looks like he's playing just slightly behind the striker in more of sort of like a cam role here.
I'm looking like a 4-3-1-2, the one that I did say I'd like to see now. Bullardino is good with the right analog stick, put it that way. He's very, very good at skills, so we'll see a lot of that.
And you can see a huge reaction there from Chris, as it was his centre-back who come across and stopped Sterling advancing down that right-hand side. As safe to say, these two players, they're a bit passionate when it comes to FIFA. I'm expecting to see a few reactions come out of the webcams here. It's a fantastic interception there from Reece James, who seems to be playing on the left-hand side of this back five, I do believe, for England.
I'm struggling to find.
I'm really,
what the formation is.
I'm very confused to this formation. I think it might be a 5-3-2.
Either that.
Or no, a 5-2-3-1, maybe. I think no, that's too many players. I'm so confused on this formation right now.
I think. Oh, he's away though, Rashford. I'm surprised that I'm starting Rashford, to be fair. But he is quick, he's very good in FIFA. So I think it looks like a 4-3-1-2. I'm going to stick with that. I think Reece James is playing centre back alongside Kyle Walker. Boulardinho is going all out for the win, playing those two at the back.
Yeah, that's just pure, aggressive interceptions, trying to win the ball back as quickly as possible and bring those counter-attacks. A little bit surprised here, though, with, the whole players capped at 90. It's pretty much an even playing field. I'm surprised we don't see the likes of Harry Kane start for England here. We know how good his finishing and how lethal he can be, not just in real life, but in FIFA as well. But there's so many, it's a common myth or a common meme within the FIFA industry that if Kane was quicker, he'd probably be one of the best strikers on FIFA because his finishing is so good. He's so strong on the ball and he can move quite niftily off the ball as well. But having that, I think he's got 72 or 74 pace on his traditional normal base card on the Ultimate Team, so he's pretty much unusable in terms of the meta. But his Augustin that he goes through, fantastic. I'm not too sure who that was there, Daz. He played a fantastic, sort of like 70-yard diagonal pass across the field there. And
we're talking about composure in the last game, and I'm going to be a broken record and talk about it again. The little ball roll there just before he hit it, just moved the goalkeeper slightly and managed to finish it. It was a great pass, great finish for Chris there.
Yes, it's going to be Sweden who takes an early lead here as Klaassen is going to go ahead and play the ball down the right-hand side to Simmer.
A lot of space.
Oh, I love this. It's going to be 2-0 already. So some very risky footwork there from the centre-back as does get away with it. However, the ball falls to the feet of Calvin Phillips, on towards Jack Grealish, out towards Jude Bellingham. Chilwell now advancing down the left-hand side. No doubt he's going to try and use that fantastic left foot to whip the ball in. Does so, but it was Klaassen there to header the ball away. As both teams here, you can see what we're going to get. We're just going to get ruthless end-to-end football here throughout the 90 minutes by the looks of it.
Yeah, Chris, you can see that it's so passionate already. He's getting stuck in. He's heading every ball. He's tackling every tackle, but he's getting stuck in. And do you know what? I reckon this game is just end to end from start to finish.
Yeah, this is what the supporters and fans at home want to see. They want to see the best go head to head and have some fun with it at the same time. As it looks like Chris is. I don't want to say that he's been watching a Sam Allardyce tutorial, but he seems to like those cross-field long balls for the flick-ons. Sancho with an elastico twist and turns onto Jack Grealish. Can't knock the ball past Larson, however, as he finds a fantastic last-ditch tackle. Ball now drops to Olsen. Olsen going to go ahead and play the ball down the left-hand side towards Isaac, but Trippier's there to nick the ball away. Trippier, of course, in real life had a fantastic season with Atletico Madrid this season. Probably one of the best right-backs in terms of overall Europe, at least.
Yeah.
As Semen out on the ball, thought he was going to play the ball forwards towards Forsberg there, but...
You can just see, Chris, every time he gets the ball in the middle of the park, he's looking for that long through ball. He's waiting, he's patient, and there's one there again. He's away.
Ball at the feet of Olsen. The ball whipped into the back post. It's Forsberg. What a save by Jordan Pickford.
What a save.
How important is that going to be? The half an hour mark. If you go 2-0 up in at half time, you are in cruise control in terms of FIFA. A huge stop from the Everton number one. England's number one, and he proves why he can do it at the highest level as Sancho tries to go forward. But oh my, we mentioned in the last game, I think it was, we saw Serge miss pretty much a sitter, and Forsberg there for Chris. He's got to hit the back of the net, surely, Daz.
Yeah, 100%. It's a great save, but I thought it was a goal. I started celebrating for Chris there. I don't know what happened. Great save.
Small details and small minor mistakes. You've got to take those chances, or they're going to come back to rue you, as it wouldn't surprise me if we see England try and level this up at one apiece before half-time. And if you're Chris here, Daz, if you go in at half-time anything but 1-0 up, you are going to be absolutely kicking yourself.
Oh, it's been all Chris. I've not really seen Bully manage to get past that defence at all. You were talking about the players all being the same rated, and you can tell here because it's just purely man-on-man. He's away down that line. He seems to be going down that line every time.
Yeah, but we're seeing a bit of a recurring theme here. Every single time, it's... I'm not too sure who's at right back here for England. I'm not too sure if it's Alexander-Arnold, for example, at right back. We know
just realised he's playing Sam Johnston in goals. It's a strange one.
Oh, he's playing Johnston in goal, not even Pickford. I thought it was Pickford in goal for a second.
Yeah, so did I.
However, nevertheless, fantastic save from Johnston. Either way, let's not take any credit away from the save.
It's a great pass.
what a pass there as Simonini goes through, but Johnston there to be nifty and nip off his line.
This looks up for this, but I'm watching his reaction just as much as I'm watching the game, and he is enjoying this.
And I always love to see it when players play with, with webcams or face cams on. It's why I love, the high-level pro tournaments. You can see the reactions, you can see the passion on the face. It's like you said, they header every ball, they tackle every sort of pass. It's such passion on their faces, and you can see there Chris having a bit of a chat with himself, getting himself ready for the second half. And Daz, what a great first half we saw. And I don't want to say it was quite even, because for the majority of it, at least, let's say 90% or 80% of that first half, it was all Chris. As I think Chris has given us a wave. Hello,
yes.
How are you today?
Yeah.
Hope you guys are good.
Hello, Chris. I'm not looking at the stats there. I mean, the stats, to be fair, it's 2 shots apiece. It doesn't seem on paper, or the stats at least, that it's 2. There you go, he's saying the love heart and all that kind of stuff. But you know what? For me, it felt like it was all Chris. I don't remember Bully getting too many chances at all, but I'll be interested to see if he changed. I don't think he had the time to change anything there, so I think Bully is just sticking with his guns.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It is all Chris at the moment.
He is enjoying it though. I feel like he needs that second goal, because, like I say, Bully is so strong. There's every chance that all it takes is that equaliser and then he goes on to win it, but he's away down the right hand side. Oh, this is the skill. Oh my days. Chris is actually... Oh, what a goal. What a goal for Chris. Unbelievable goal. He's done a little ball roll, the composure there, he took it by the man, he then played it across goal, beat the man again, dropped the shoulder, banged it in the back of the net. Unbelievable. I have to say, I did not expect this. Bullardinho is a very, very good player. I've seen Chris play a few times, always hitting that elite goal, but Jesus, did not expect 2-0. Bullardinho's getting a chance here though. He needs to score, he needs to get this next goal. Next goal is absolutely vital. Good play from Sterling, but the good tackle. Chris's defence, that's one thing I've noticed the most. Chris's defence is exceptional today. Big Isaac holding up there. Great pass. There's so much space out wide for Chris just now, but the ball's just out of play. Just out of play. And they paused it. I don't know if it was Bullardinho that paused it there or if it's Chris. I think Bullardinho's having to make some changes after he went 2-0 up.
Yeah, and that's that's just something we see a lot in terms of FIFA as well, Daz. I mean, I don't know about you, but myself, sometimes when things are going wrong and you need to get yourself back in the game, a potential formation change or even just a quick shift in personnel can really do the world of good. And I think we've got to start to see, the side of England here, Bullardinho, go a little bit more direct. I think we've seen a few times he's tried to get the ball to the likes of Rashford or Sterling and get him behind and try and attack those bylines, but we're surprised if you see the likes of a Kane come on and try and go slightly more direct and have a bit more of an aerial presence. Yeah,
I mean, we've seen from Chris's first goal, that was a 70-yard through ball. Do you know what I mean? So that's where Bullardinho needs to maybe go for it a little bit differently. Try the through balls instead. We know how effective they are in this FIFA. So, yeah, I think you're absolutely spot on where you're saying it's try to play it in the intricate passes, into feet, all that kind of stuff. Just get the ball in behind and get a shot on goal.
Yeah, exactly, and it wouldn't surprise me if we start to see a few more long-range efforts come as well. As I say, a fantastic pass, a fantastic goal, as I think it was
Sancho?
Jadon Sancho, and already we said we need to see him go a little bit more directed, as I'm not too sure if he's got the stream open and listening to us, or he's just a mind reader, as the ball's whipped into the box and smashed home at close range from the Borussia Dortmund, or should I say potential Man United wide man, as that's a huge momentum swing here. Half an hour to go, 2-1.
Massive there. Like I say, I think I'm definitely going to take some credit for that, or we should definitely take some credit for that, pushing Bully to make some changes. You've seen it there, played a great quick through ball in behind, or a cross goal should I say, and great finish from Sancho. Now Chris is looking a little bit more nervous.
And what was the change that he actually made? I think he brought Bellingham off and put Mason Mount on in the middle of the park, I think. That sort of allows Jack Grealish to express himself out wide and get on the ball slightly more as well, which again is a very attacking change. Reece James, should I say? Tries to whip the ball in, is intercepted, and now we see the ball at the feet of Olsen.
It does look like he's moved Reece James to right back though. That's one change it looks like, because he was definitely playing more of a central role in defence, so now he's moved him at that right back position as Chris tries to play the through ball.
Yeah, and Reece James is one of those players that just loves to drive at players, and he's very, very strong on the ball and just can really glide past people without even realising, and apparently glide off the pitch as well. And
Rashford wanted to go and sit on the seat there, get a wee drink. I don't know what was going on there. That's the love of FIFA for you.
25 minutes to play here, Daz. 2-1 to Sweden. And if you're Chris now, it's sort of been all you the whole game, but all of a sudden the tides have started to turn and he's under a lot of pressure here in the squad of England already. You can see they're pressing slightly further up the pitch. What are you doing if you're Chris? What are you sort of saying to yourself? How are you setting your team up here going into the final 20 minutes?
Yeah, it just there's a chance here. No, so I mean, for me, I'm surprised I've not seen Chris make any sort of changes in terms of going a little bit more defensive. Not that I've noticed anyway. He seems to just be sticking by his guns here a little bit. But I think in the next 10 minutes we should see either a good pause, change of formation, go a bit more defensive, or we'll see him making that on the manual instructions.
Yeah, fantastic change of direction there from Reece James, but Mason Mount loses the ball in the centre of midfield, and now it's at the feet of Klaassen as Klaassen's going to drop the ball back towards Lustig as Mount's there to nick the ball away, and it's going to be a Sweden throw, however.
Doesn't look like that. I say Chris is just playing the same game. He's still going for it. I've not seen him try to be a bit more patient, stay, keep it at the back, things like that, pass it around, just kind of pull Bullardino out left and right and whatnot, but he's still so direct. Might work in his favour, might not.
Yeah, and I was literally just about to say, sometimes that can work and sometimes it can go horribly wrong as well. We see it so many times in the real world of football, for example, where if you're under the cosh a little bit, you just try to keep attacking and push the other team back, but that can really start to form the cracks in terms of the middle of the park and at your back, along your back four as well. The gaps might start to form where your players are pushing out of position, or you can steam forward and go one-on-one. As I say that, it's Klaassen towards the byline, but Phillips is there to make a great tackle. The ball dropped back. He's got to score. He's got to score, Daz.
He got to score. That I reckon. I don't know. I've just got this feeling that that's going to bite him in the backside. Let me tell you, Chris's head will go now. I hope it does it for him, but his head might go. That was an unbelievable chance. He's so composed in those positions out on the left inside the box, but now Bullardino's run down line with Sterling. This could be dangerous. He tried that. That's the problem. Sterling's tiny.
Yeah, there's no strength on him at all because he's such a nifty and he's got that great balance and agility on him. However, he just gets hit with a paper aeroplane and goes flying off the pitch apparently as the ball.
Great pass.
And we're starting to see this a little bit more now, Daz. I think Chris has realised he's got to go back to Route 1 football that he was playing. He's missed again! How has he missed 2 shots within 2 minutes from the same angle?
Carbon copy the first chance. I don't know what's happened there. That's twice. I don't know. I mean, the players they're all 90 rated. It can't be anything to do with the player having worse finishing, anything like that. But oh god, Bullardino seems to be. Oh, he's got the ball. He's kept it there. I thought he gave it away twice from the goalkeeper, but Chris has got to finish those chances.
And if you're Bullardino now, you're looking at these chances and thinking, do you know what? This might just be our day. This might, he's praying for one last chance. Can he get the ball to the likes of a Sancho, a Rashford, or even a Sterling up front? Yeah. That's what he needs. He needs to get that one half chance, and no doubt those players can potentially bury it because Chris right now, he is squandering all chances that he gets inside the 18-yard box.
This is where Chris is so strong. Yeah, Chris is so strong in those areas when he's inside the box. So composed. I mean, you see here, he's kept the ball so well. And like I said, he's still playing the same way. He's not playing it back the way he's not, and he just gave it away. This could be dangerous.
Grealish plays the ball down the line towards Jadon Sancho, just onside to Chilwell. And you can see Sancho trying to get on the overlap here. Not too sure if he's trying to put the ball over the top instead of to feet, but the ball falls back at the feet of Chilwell to Trippier. Trippier to Mount. 2 minutes of added time here.
Last chance.
Time for England to get back into this game as the ball moves left, right. It's Raheem Sterling and the ball bobbles out of play. And I think it's come off of the England wide man, as that looks like it could be all she wrote.
That is it. He tried the bridge again. I don't know if it was necessary or not, but he did try the bridge and Chris kicks it out and the game's over.
I cannot believe that chance right then. I thought that was it after Chris's missed chances.
And you can see the fist bumps in true Andy Murray form coming through from Chris there as a huge result for Sweden. After missed chance, I thought towards the end there, I thought Raheem Sterling was going to have the composure to just smash the ball home, but a fantastic interception from the centre-back of Sweden just knocks the ball out of play. And not only that, he wins the goal kick as well, because that goes out for a corner or a throw-in for England. In that corner, all you got to do is put one ball into the box, and we know how unpredictable heading can be on this game. You can just smash the ball home from a header at any range. As it is going to be Christo who advances through into our semi-finals. And boy, I don't think my heart can take any more missed chances like that from Chris. After the first one was missed, you thought, okay, if he gets another chance, he has to bury it. He then misses a chance about a minute or two later, and it nearly come back to bite him.
Yeah, it was the exact same chance as well. And do you know what? I did say at the start of the game, I knew that would be a good one. Billardino against Chris, they're two pretty even players. And we've seen it there at the end. Billardino did get a couple of chances, but Chris, I mean, he could have the game dead and buried, but fair play to Billardino, he stuck at it. I really thought he was going to finish that last minute chance there, but do you know what? Fair play to Chris.
Yeah, Chris, you know, sometimes I know myself from personal experience how much of, you know, a mental impact losing your head in a game can be, especially FIFA, you know, where the games are so short. We're talking 6-minute halves. These games are only 12 minutes long, right? And although I feel like a hypocrite in saying that the games are short, I mentioned that, you know, anything can happen, and a game of FIFA can be very, very long at times, or at least feel like it anyway. To keep the composure and keep saying, okay, we've missed a chance, it's fine. You know, it can happen in a game of FIFA. All you got to do is make sure that you don't lose your head, and that's exactly what has happened. But I do believe we are going to jump straight into another game now here, Daz, as we are going to watch Denmark versus Czech Republic, or at least the final 20 minutes of that. It's currently sitting at 2-1 to the Czech lineup, and you know, this looks like it's a very, very tight game.
Yeah, so this is Lad to Dad against Ellie Maynard as well, and Ellie Maynard was everyone's tip for winning the whole thing, so we'll see what happens here.
20 minutes on the clock as Denmark have got to do something to get themselves back in the game, and a huge interception from Zimmer there as he finds Corfau out wide, as the right back for the side of the Czech Republic are going to try and drive this Denmark lineup back and get his team further up. The pitch, a fantastic 1-2, slips Vidra through, whips the ball in on that great right foot that he has, but...
Just realise as well that it's Lad to Dad that's winning 2-1. It's Lad to Dad that's beating Ellie Maynard here, which is a turn up for the books.
Oh, what a pass! What a ball! Damsgaard's through, and a huge stop there from the keeper.
Just as I was saying that as well, I thought it was commentator's curse. Lad to Dad looks very, very calm for being 2-1 up against one of the best FIFA players in the tournament.
Very, very calm, and I think he's just saying to himself, just relax, keep it the way it is, don't make any mistakes, and you've booked your spot in the semi-finals. But you can see it's nothing but constant pressure here for the side of Denmark, as Poulsen's got the ball at his feet, twisting and turning, trying to find the ball onto his left foot, and the ball nearly deflects into the bottom corner there. As that's just panicking, clear the ball, my friend.
Oh my good lord. And look at him, he's still chilled out. He's still so chilled. I mean, a wee puff of the cheeks there, to be fair, but bloody hell, he just couldn't get the ball away. Oh, he's gave it away again.
Ball away again. I'm watching this, and I don't think Lad to Dad deserves to be 2-1 up if he's given the ball away this easy.
Unbelievable. There you go. The composure there. The composure. I was wondering if Lad to Dad was playing the same game, because it didn't even look phased, but there you go. 80th minute as well.
And instantly you can see the changes coming from Denmark here. And I think the side of Denmark know that the squad of the Czech Republic are there for the taking here, Dazers. We're going to see a few changes come through for either side by the looks of things.
So this is where I'm wondering how the whole players all being the same rate and how it works with subs, especially for the Czech Republic side. I suppose it's just a stamina thing, because you don't know, I mean, I certainly don't know the players are up front right now, so I don't know if that's going to help matters or not, whereas, I mean, we've seen like Billardino using England, you know the players, you know who you're bringing on, all that kind of thing, albeit it didn't quite work out for him, but this, I just see, must be stamina.
One thing I do know about the Czech Republic team is their striker Proved is going to be retiring from international football after this tournament, so I guess that goes to show, you know, the experience in that lineup, and they've got the experience in real life, but has Lad to Dad got the experience in terms of FIFA to just stay composed and either force extra time or grab a last-ditch winner here with 5 minutes to go? There's still somewhat of a lot of time to work with in terms of overall FIFA gameplay. As again, a little bit of a rushed pass there gives the ball straight back to the feet of Denmark, and Poulsen's there. Fantastic.
So fast.
Strength. He's so strong. So fast as well. No doubt the ball might be dragged back onto his right foot. He does, but a fantastic interception there from the right back, as it looks like Denmark here. They want to try and push for this winner.
Yeah, Lad to Dad's now starting to look a little bit wary. Ellie Maynard, such a good player. Any chance that he gets, he will most likely finish in. I feel like there's going to be one more chance in this game, albeit only 4 minutes to go.
And it wouldn't surprise me if that chance
come
for the Danes, as Poulsen skips past his defender like he wasn't even there. Ball does drop to Blake White. Damsgaard trying to shift the ball towards Braithwaite. A fantastic pass through, but Paulson's there, and the ball's intercepted just at the nick of time for the side of the Czech Republic, as Vidra actually wins the flick on here. So this is Holschek who goes through. And again, we talk about composure all the time, Dad, and just no composure from lad to dad.
It's the difference. It's genuinely the difference. Lad dad keeps the ball there, sees it out, but I mean, I think he's safe anyway. In extra time, there we go.
Listen, we was only in that game for about 20 minutes of the game.
I'm absolutely knackered.
I feel like I've watched the whole 90 minutes of football there. Extra time, we're going to see our first extra time in the competition, which is always nice, especially within, the knockout stages. I'm a huge fan of it in terms of real life football. I love watching sort of like a penalty shootout or, the final half an hour of extra time play through. So we are going to have 2 50-minute halves, as per extra time rules. And should things still be all square, we will head to that penalty shootout. Now, actually, I think we're going to... Actually, no, this is an online friendly. I don't think they've set it up for classic mode because it's not the final game of the season.
So we need to do golden goal. I think golden goal, maybe jump in our game, golden goal.
I think that might work. Just reset everyone's stamina back to 100, and whoever scores first wins. And if you're the likes of LA Maynard, for example, you're used to playing a two-legged affair, for example, or playing extra times and the penalty shootouts, within weekend league as well, for example. So if you go into extra time here, you sort of have that mindset as to how to play extra time, conserve your energy, take your chances when you need to, but you reset the game back to 0-0 and play extra time, play golden goal rather, should I say. You might concede within the first minute from kickoff glitch, for example, and then you're out of the competition and you're going to be absolutely fuming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's partial of the way we've set this up, I guess, but I'd be interested to see how they play it for golden goal. Do you absolutely go for it and go gung-ho, try and get that goal, or do you play a little bit more reserved and try and get one on the counter? Who knows? I
don't know. I think if you're lads to dad, I think you've definitely got to try and stay calm, cool, and collected here. And I think this break will be doing him the world of good. I think if we went straight into extra time, after the full 90 minutes, it would definitely be LA Maynard in the driving seat. He looked really, really comfortable in that second half, or that final 25 minutes that we watched, should I say, the second half of the second half. And I think this break could reset the mentality from lad to dad. We saw him be 2-1 up, so he knows how to score. He knows how to get himself ahead and nick a goal here or there. But golden goal is completely different. Can you do it when it matters? Because who knows?
Exactly. Just try to find out exactly what's happening next with this game.
We are going to golden goal. We have just got confirmation that we are going to play a rematch. All the players are going to be reset back to 99 stamina, or whatever you want to call it. All their stats reset to fresh. First goal wins. Loser goes home. I'm just hoping we don't see another 90 minutes of a golden goal. But we have to reset it again because that would be pretty nuts.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how. I mean, I certainly don't know myself in this stage of the tournament how I would play it. I mean, you wouldn't want to go all gung ho, especially for lad to dad against the likes of Ellie Maynard. You go gung ho, Ellie Maynard hits on the counter, game over within 10 minutes. So I'm going to be really interested to see exactly how they play this one. Yeah,
and one thing to mention as well, if you're used to a two-legged affair, you'd be used to having the away goal rule that is implemented into the game as well, right? However, I think they've actually just scrapped that in terms of real-life European competitions. What are your thoughts on that, Dad?
Yeah, I did see that. I mean, do you know what? I've never been a massive fan of it. The only thing I would say is I feel like it just kind of takes away any sort of incentive of trying to score from away, or away from home, should I say. So if a team's away, they might just be a bit more reserved, think to themselves, it doesn't really matter if we get this away goal, it's not going to count for that extra sort of added bonus, if you like. So, do you know what? But then we lost out. I mean, Spurs v Ajax, that finished 3-3, didn't it, in the Champions League? And it was away goals that put Spurs through, so we won't get that excitement of that away goal, but it'll be interesting. As Ellie Maynard is away 1-on-1. Oh my god. Oh my good lord!
He's just banged the bicycle kick within the first 4 minutes of the game.
And there we go.
Yeah, I literally mentioned that you could concede a goal within the first couple of minutes of the game. And I think LA actually put a pause through because he wanted to change his in-game formation or something like that. And he doesn't even need to, as he scores a goal within the first 5 minutes to put himself through.
Oh my god, can we get a comms out to lad to dad to ask him to get a replay on that? Oh my good lord. That's what we're talking about. You go for it, and lad to dad, I don't know if he went for it there, or you did mention yourself, but the kick-off glitch, 4 minutes in, boom, goal.
And a devastating finish as well. Before, I think as soon as I blinked, the game was over. It was a quick interchange of football down the right-hand side, some fantastic give and go. I think it was the old, pass and move that we saw in between the right back and the right midfielder, and the ball whipped in. a fantastic touch. Almost, I think it was like almost a Bergkamp-esque touch onto his other foot. And he finishes it off with a fantastic bicycle kick inside the 18-yard box into the top corner. And just like that, we have one of our semi-finalists. So obviously, commiserations to Lad to Dad. Really, really...
special
really
shout out to Lad to Dad, because like I say, Ellie Maynard definitely one of the favourites of the tournament, and maybe a lot of people wouldn't have gave Lad to Dad much of a chance. We all know he is a good player, but Ellie being the player that he is, time to put some respect on Lad to Dad's name for sure.
Yeah, so obviously he's going to be kicking himself as well, because he knows he was so close but so far as well.
Yeah.
From potentially booking his spot in the final four, as I think we are just waiting for all the other games to conclude. Once we get confirmation on the scores and the results of those, quarterfinal fixtures, we will be able to let you guys know and get the next game up and running. Rather, sorry, but we're heading towards this business stage of the competition now, as I like to call it here, Daz. We are playing obviously best of ones, for example, in terms of you lose, you go home throughout the whole competition. So, going into the semi-finals, you're just one step away from booking your spot in that final. That's probably the worst stage to lose. I mean, everyone hates losing, but losing in the semi-final, is sometimes, if not worse than losing in the final. Because if you get to the final, you can at least say, we got here, we gave it a good go. It just wasn't meant to be our day. But if you lose in the semi-finals, you were just one step away from potentially putting your name on some silverware.
No, 100%. And the games are that tight as well. I feel like it'll be even worse because they know how close they could have been to that final. We've seen there. I mean, Lad to Dad took LA all the way to the 80th minute, and now he's out. So yeah, it's mad. It's going to be. I'm really looking forward to these semi-finals for sure.
Yeah, we are again just waiting on confirmation on who plays in those semi-finals. Just off what I've seen in the chat, I think Jay Coyle did lose his game. I'm not too sure who he was actually playing. I think he was playing Clever Discs. That was Portugal versus Austria. I'm not too sure on what the scoreline actually was. So we are going to see. Sorry, these are the confirmed semi-finals before they go through to the grand final. It is going to be Foot Chris versus LA Maynard. We're going to see Denmark versus Sweden. That's going to be a good fixture right there, especially with the passion on Chris's face and how he was sort of missing chance after chance and holding on towards that end of the game against Bully. We're going to see on the other side of the bracket, however, Portugal versus Switzerland. We're going to see Chazza up against Clever. So two really, really, really intriguing games. I think we are going to watch Clever's game, hopefully, because we've not seen him on stream just yet and not giving him a chance to show off to the fans at home. But let us know in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, watching at home. We want to get those emoji spams in the chat. Put either the Portugal flag, put the Switzerland, the Sweden, or the Denmark flag. Let us know who you guys are rooting for. No doubt all these content creators have got their fans supporting not only in their streams but in this stream as well. Let us know who you think is going to take the actual Euros in real life as well. And if there's any answer apart from England in the chat, I will find you. We are just waiting for this final two games to kick off before we see that grand final slightly later on in the show. And I'm looking at my other screen right now, and Clever looks up for this. He's singing away to the songs that he's got playing on stream. He's vibing. He's ready to play. And just early predictions here between we're going to see that Clever versus Chazza game. Who's taking it?
Chazza. I have to say Chazza and LA. I'm pretty sure I tipped them both to get to the final, so I'll be quite happy in terms of my prediction if they two make it. But Clever Dix, I did say to him, I was speaking to him before the tournament, and he slid into my DMs just to chat about formations and things like that and what to expect. But he's done very well to get to the semi-final. He's a very, very good player as well. He loves a little ball roll scoop, all that kind of stuff. He's good with the right analog stick as well, so that'll be a good game. LA Maynard against Chris. We've just seen how good Chris was in that game as well. So LA being taken all the way to the 80th minute by Lad to Dad, but pulling off that unbelievable bicycle kick that I'm still in shock about. So yeah, it'll be an interesting one. If we get to the final with any of them will be a good final now as well.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. We are going to have to see which team can turn up when it matters and book their spots in the Wolves Esports Euro Invitational Grand Final. These players are just sorting out their starting 11s, all the custom tactics in particular. Now, without you exposing your own custom tactics or the way you like to set up in terms of tournament or weekend league games, but if you're playing in a semi-final, for example, or even a final, would you sort of keep things exactly the same, or would you make micro adjustments? Maybe, you know, drop your depth slightly further back from like a 5 or a 4 depth to like a 3 or a 2 depth, for example, just to, you know, give yourself that little bit more of a solid core in terms of making sure that back four staying solid? Or, you know, would you maybe switch to having 2 holding midfielders instead of maybe 1 if you play that 1 holding midfielder just in front of your back 4 or back 5? You know, is there anything that you do in particular, or you would like to see these players do rather?
Yeah, I feel like at this stage of the tournament, they've had 2 games now to kind of get to grips with the formations that they're playing, get to know what's working, what's not working. So you will know what kind of changes that you want to make. It's like, for example, the first few games of Foot Champs, I'll play them. If there's loads of through balls going in behind, I'll drop the depth slightly. It'll be those little adjustments that they'll be making. I don't think they'll be making wholesale changes at all. Maybe personnel if the body type's not quite fitting what their style of play is. But for sure, I reckon the majority will be staying as is. But I'm looking forward to these games. I can't stop thinking who's going to win.
Yeah, we have obviously got, which I'm no doubt this next comment we might make a bit of a stir in the Twitch chat. I think one of the GOATs, if not the best player in the world, that has been for a while up front for the side of Portugal, that obviously being CR7 himself, Cristiano Ronaldo. All you Messi diehards, please leave me alone and my mentions. I'm sorry, I've got my own opinions, all right? I do apologise if that's offended anyone. But things are just getting underway. They are in the arena, just waiting for the game to load in, and I think the game has loaded in just right now. Cue the Champions League music, cue the dramatic music, just the semi-final time. I'm excited, Daz. I know you are. We're going to see Clever Dicks versus Chazza, Portugal versus Switzerland, and we are getting into it.
Yeah, if you watch Clever Dicks, he is up for it. He's a very, very vocal man, a very passionate guy. So you get ready to see some antics on the side of his camera.
As long as the shirts don't come off and I haven't got to put anyone into the booking list just yet, we should be fine. You know, can't be breaking any TOS things, you know, on the wall stream. Not just yet anyway. We'll save that for, you know.
This is a little bit of a grudge match. Chazza and Clever Dicks do get on very, very well off stream as well. So it'll be interesting to see how either of them celebrate this one. I'm hoping to see a shush. I'm hoping to see a turn and zoom. Just really rile each other up.
And it's always nice when we see that as well, Daz. You know, no doubt these guys will probably play around, probably run some pro clubs or, you know, friendly tournaments with each other off stream and have a laugh, make content together, etc. However, you know, they know when to be serious and when to turn their game faces on at the same time. João Felix, now with the ball near the 18-yard box, does get intercepted. And already you can see here, you know, both teams really going at it.
Yeah, like I say, I think it's going to be another end-to-end game. I don't think either of them know how to just stay patient and take their time. Clever Dicks, what a bridge. Good strike. Oh, I thought the rebounds come back to him there.
Yeah, and that's, you know, that's the sort of situation that you want to see the likes of a CR7 get in. As I think he's actually going to go for a
goal. What's the goal? What's the goal?
Ref, I'm not too sure. Can we head to Stockley Park for a potential push in the back on Ronaldo there?
Jesus.
As I like that though. I really like that though, Daz, from Clever Dicks.
Yeah, go for it.
Shaqiri now steaming forward, a shot and then the ball falls back to Mohamedi and it goes wide.
What a block. It goes to show you though, Dev has the chance and then Chazza runs up the other end of the park and almost scores.
And I think that's something that we've seen a lot throughout this whole competition in terms of, you know, you've got to take the chances when you get them because these players, they're so good, in particular Chazza and the likes of L.A. Maynard. They are so good and they can punish you at any time. They don't even need a whole chance. They get half a chance, a quarter, just a sniff at goal. And, you know, they can really make you pay.
We're seeing this pressure. What a save. What a save. How's he pulled that off? We see the pressure, though, again from Chaz, I was about to say. It's absolutely relentless.
Yeah, this is a recurring theme. We saw it a lot in the first game against Serge, for example, where he just did not give him a chance to breathe. And already exactly the same thing here. But that's a fantastic pass from Semedo. Ball now to the feet of Diego Jota for the Liverpool man. He plays it out wide towards Guerrero. Gonna go ahead and advance down this left-hand side here, just steaming down the left-hand side. Gonna try and whip that ball in, no doubt. No, tries to play it back and it goes out for a corner. So already, I'm really intrigued, rather, should I say, that this is going to be a great game of football.
100%. It's already started the way it has. Look at Clever Dicks. He's header and everything.
And I think he was a bit upset with himself there. He knows that was half a chance. I think it was Pepe on the header, or it might have been Diaz, rather, sorry. Does miss it, and you know we all know how good Ruben Diaz is in the air, so I think Ronaldo might have just strayed offside, or it was Jota rather.
This is going to be a good game.
Yeah, this is really tight, end to end here for both players, and honestly, after the first 20 minutes, I have not got a clue how this game's going to go.
No, not a clue. The only thing I would say is in favour is Chaz's. I keep talking about it, it's pressure. It's pressure. It'll be interesting to see how Clever Dicks deals with it. But it's just, he got the touch, but the defender just nudged him.
And that's a perfect example of where the 90 cap has come into play. You know, in that situation, I don't think that player would have got there ahead of Diego Jota or...
Exactly.
And it's just so fortunate that these players are obviously capped. But at the same time, we've got to put it on a bit of an even playing field, to say the least. You know, we know these guys are good, but we can't have a complete mismatch in terms of teams.
Of course. He's done well there. He's done very well to get out there. Seen that a lot. Going out the right-hand side, taking his time, being patient, passing it in the feet. Clever Dicks knows what he's doing.
I'm really impressed with Clever Dicks as well, because he's not shying away from the fact that he's playing a top 200 player at all. He's taking it to him. He's playing his own game. He's trying to be confident.
Yeah, 100%. Taking the game to Chaz. I don't know how Chaz deals with it. Ooh, he's getting a few chances.
Yeah, I think we're going to probably see a goal before half time here. It wouldn't surprise me if both players just really letting off shots and letting stuff fly towards the goal here. As I would say, though, Clever Dicks has probably had the clearer cut chances out of these ones. I don't think we've just seen a shot register on goal yet for Chazza, but we've seen one now.
Bang! Just as we're saying that. And you noticed that from Chazza, who could have seen the replay, but we're not going to get the chance to. He pretended, one striker took the defender away, and the other man was left on his own. Clever Dicks tried to cut off the pass, try to anticipate it, never quite got it.
And how many times have we said throughout this whole competition and tournament that if you can't take your chances, it will come back and bite you? And I mentioned that Chazza doesn't even need half a chance, not even a quarter, just a sniff at goal. One chance, one goal, 1-0 for Switzerland. As we are going to see João Felix on the ball, though. Jota trying to twist and turn, gets the shot away. That's a huge stop at the back. I think that was the centre-back there from Switzerland who just steps in at the nick of time. And now already another quick counter-attack for Chazza as Stefan's going to be trying to play through. But huge interception. You
see Clever Dicks, he's always trying to anticipate that pass, try and intercept it. And I feel like if you're good at it, which Dev is good at, Clever Dicks is really good at it, but Chazza's good at reading the fact that that's what he's going to do, and he's just playing it the opposite way. He's 1-on-1 goal, bang! Clever Dicks is going to lose his head.
I don't think we need an interpreter to know what Clever Dicks has just said there after going 2-0 down. But Stefan puts his side 2-0 up, doubling his goal tally for the game and doubling the tally for his team. As all of a sudden, I think, like you said, Clever Dicks' head's gone slightly as he needs to get back into the groove of things, try and bag a goal back before half-time. We knew that there was going to be goals in this one. I said there was going to be goals in the first half, and it's Switzerland who seem to be making these missed chances for Portugal pay.
100%. I've just noticed as well, just been told that Chris has beaten Ellie Maynard. As Chazza goes 1-on-1 and it's a goal again! And you asked for one goal before half-time, and Chazza has went and given us 3. Now, Chazza is looking very, very good for this final now.
Yeah, and that's going to be a first-half hat-trick for the front man, Stefan, from Switzerland. Really, really clinical performance from him. And I think we've seen 3 shots on goal for Chazza, and we've seen 3 shots hit the back of the net past the Portuguese number 1, and just Clever Dicks has no answers for anything that Chaz is throwing his way right now. Luckily, these guys are friends and will take this as a bit of friendly banter, but, I can already see...
I feel like that's going to make it worse. That's going to make it a lot worse.
As I say that, though, Clever Dicks does win the ball back. A little 1-2 potentially coming into play. Oh, I thought he was just going to slot the ball through there, and he overplays it slightly.
Don't know why I never took it. Now, if I know Clever Dicks, I know him well, his head goes. Right now, if he was streaming and this was Foot Champs, he would have rage quit the stream, it'd be off, everyone would be away to someone else, and that would be it done. But because he's on the Wolves competition, he needs to stay live and keep his cool.
Yeah, not too sure if he's plugging one of his partners there, but I think he said he might need to put the hat on to channel the superpowers, to say the least. Might need to splash some water on the face, consume some sort of energy drink or something. We're in a semi-final here, Clever Dicks. You don't want to be getting, rolled over and steamrolled through that easily, as no doubt he's going to try and regain. And looking at these stats, though, quickly, I can see on my other screen here, he's actually had 2 shots on target, but 6 shots on target for the side of Switzerland, 6 total shots, 100% shot accuracy thus far. And they've proved that because they've bagged themselves 3 goals as well. Possession, though, as well, funnily enough, heavily favouring Clever Dicks, sitting at 57-43 at the moment. So it's just that constant high pressure from the side of Switzerland, nicking the ball back in the midfield and catching them on the counter. That's doing them the world of good.
Yeah, I mean, 25, 30 minutes in, we asked for a goal and we didn't have a clue who it was going to go to. The fact it's 3-0 to Chaza, I'm almost in a little bit of shock.
3-0 for Switzerland. 46 minutes gone, 45 minutes remain for Portugal to try and get themselves back in this game. Fernandes looking like he's going to need to win a penalty to score at this rate, as it's just all going wrong here for Cleverdix, really is, and just look at how congested the middle of the pitch is here for Switzerland. They're pretty much sitting at 3 centre defensive midfielders at times here with that back four. It's almost impossible for Portugal to play through them. I think they've really got to try and get their wide men on the ball and get the balls into the box and try and get Ronaldo to win a header in that 18-yard box for them to sort of put, any sort of comeback on the cards here. As I say that, Shaqiri's just going to steam through. Mendes is trying to match him pace for pace. The Rabona turn tries to come in, but that is going to be intercepted. Ronaldo now going to play the ball out wide to João Felix, and this is what we need to see. The players just twisting and turning, trying to run it on the right foot. What a finish from João Felix!
Well, look at this celebration.
Cleverdix is heating up here in the second half. 53 minutes on the clock. 3-1 to Switzerland.
Hey, what? We needed a goal before the 60th minute, I was thinking, for Cleverdix, and he's got it. It'll be interesting to see how Chaza plays it now. Will he go and steamroll him, or will he kind of take his foot off the gas a little bit as he's playing it through, though?
Now it's really important here, Daz, that he doesn't concede straight away. It's so important, and Patricio's there to grab the ball at his feet. Now, we've got a game on our hands here. If Cleverdix can just keep the ball and get one more chance and make it 3-2 going into the final 10 or 15 minutes here, we could see a very intriguing finish here to this semi-final.
Fantastic goal. Unbelievable goal. And you've seen the passion as well. I absolutely love it from Cleverdix. He's really enjoying this as, the left-hand side is away, and he stopped the run.
How many times have we seen him do that, though? There's been so many times where the overlap and the player's in so much space, but he just can't find that gap. I'm not too sure if he just physically can't see it himself, or, maybe he's just so hyper-focused on keeping the ball, he can't see any gaps emerging on the pitch. I cast my mind back to the first one earlier where Felix could have gone through on goal, and I think it was Diego Jota through that time. And is that going to bite him?
Well, the bridge, good block. This next goal is absolutely vital for Cleverdix.
And talk to me about the bridge quickly here, Daz. We know that skill move is so used and abused this year.
Yeah, it's so OP. I absolutely cannot stand defending against that. I still to this day don't know how to defend against it, but I have started learning how to use it myself now. So like you said earlier on, if you can't beat them, join them. So it's so OP. It needs to be removed from FIFA, but because of the mechanics of the game, I mean, we'll probably see one, not a great tackle to be fair, but Chaza has used it all a lot, and you'll notice all these top players use the bridge so often, especially when they get to the edge of that box, trying to nick it past the defender, creates a little force field past the defender as well, so you can't get near them.
It's so hard to defend against, and when you're playing at the highest level, these players make it look so easy to use, but a lot of hard work and effort has gone into that.
Just as we're talking about it, what a save. It's a penalty. As we were talking about the bridge, Chaza goes and shows us exactly how to do it.
And Nuno Mendes brings down Stefan inside the penalty area. And that's come on, ref, have a word.
Dearie me. And I can see exactly what Cleverdix is saying as well.
He's not happy at all. And Patricio, not Patricio. Mohamed, he's going to take it. He goes straight down the middle, and Cleverdix saves it. And he says, I knew what you were going to do, my friend. As if that went in, he would have been absolutely fuming. I don't think in a million years that was a penalty.
No.
We've seen penalties been given for worse. Justice is served. There's still a lifeline here for Portugal.
Chaza's so good with that bridge on the edge of the box. Did good defending. He read him well there. He tried to pause the game though, Cleverdix, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of changes he tries to make.
What a pass! I thought it was just going to be hit slightly straight. Or is he going to keep it in? No. If that was hit slightly more narrow, he was through one-on-one on goal there.
He's taking Ronaldo off.
Ronaldo's coming off, and it looks like Pizzi's going to be making his way onto the pitch. Not too sure about that one, but then again, he might know something that we don't know. Just looking over at my other screen that we've got the game up on, it's Fernandes, Felix, and Ronaldo all coming off. It's going to be Rafa, Silva, and Goncalves, I think, coming on. Now, is this going to be sort of like a stamina thing in terms of, taking the likes of a João Felix and a Cristiano Ronaldo? Well, we know how good Ronaldo is in particular in the air and with the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
That's a huge statement made from Clever Dicks to say that, if I get some fresh legs on, I think I can do this without, CR7 up top.
Yeah, and we spoke earlier about the body types as well. I know Rafa is one of those really small, nimble, quick, agile players, and I know Clever Dicks likes that, especially with the right analog stick. So I think that's maybe what he's going for. We need to wait and see, but taking Ronaldo off, even I don't care if it's capped at 90 rated, it's still Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think if there's one player for a big occasion, it's definitely him. And we mentioned how good he is in the air as well. Should any last-minute crosses come in and you need someone to find a header, he's usually the man that does it.
For anybody that does not know, in the chat I can see that Foot Chris is now 3-2 down against LA Maynard with 10 minutes to go.
The tides have turned in that game, as we mentioned. LA Maynard, how good he is. That even with his back against the wall, he can make stuff happen. As we see the free kick from nearly creeps into the near post, and I think Clever Dicks actually surprises himself there.
He does. He doesn't have a clue what he just done there. He does not have a clue. He just winged it, and it almost pulled off as well, and he would have claimed that he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, it's safe to say we're going to see a best FIFA tips and tricks free kick tutorial from him at some point this week or in the near future. As 10 minutes on the clock left here. 80 minutes played in this semi-final between Switzerland and Portugal. Not a lot of time here for Clever Dicks to get himself back in the game as Semedo trying to twist and turn. He's got to score pretty much within this next attack, but he loses.
Look at Chaza. Look how high up Chaza is. I cannot get over this absolute unbelievable pressing, and it's a goal. Jesus Christ! All from that pressing from Chaza. It is absolutely relentless.
It looks like he's going to be called and he's playing into the final as Shaqiri smashes the ball home with that strong left foot into the top right-hand corner, and it's just all falling apart here for Clever Dicks. He doesn't look happy, and I'm not too sure if he's not happy with himself or with the game, but we've just seen a really clinical performance once again out of Chaza, and it's just Clever Dicks just had no answers to the question that Chaza threw him by the looks of it here, Daz.
Yeah. Every time we've watched Chaza, we've talked about the pressure, we've talked about the composure, and it just seems to be that's made the difference this game. Clever Dicks, fair play. I'm the first 30 minutes or so put up an unbelievable fight. We actually didn't have a clue who was going to get the first goal, but fair play to Chaza. I'm really looking forward to seeing him in the final now.
Yeah, it looks like he might be advancing on to play LA Maynard.
Oh, he's doing keepy uppies with the goalkeeper. That's what I'm talking about. They're good friends, and now Chaza is ripping him a new one.
Yeah, Clever Dick's not going to be too happy to say the least. Chaza just having some fun. He knows he's been beat. He knows the better man's advancing to the final. There'll be no hard feelings, or is there going to be some late drama here? But too little, too late. As a couple minutes left, as Mbabu channeling is in a Ronaldinho.
Toying with him. Oh, Jesus Christ. Can I get a... Nah, Chaza is absolutely toying with him. I can actually hear Chaza laughing away at himself right now.
Chaza just turning on the style burners, entertaining the crowds for the last 5 minutes or so as Yotta's going to go through. He's actually going to give him a go. He's going to make it 4-2.
Chaza is toying with him. Jesus.
Clever Dick's paused the celebration as well.
We've just had confirmation as well that Foot Chris got beat 3-2 against LA Maynard, so it will be Chaza against LA Maynard, which I think was everyone's tip for the final.
Yeah, we've set ourselves up a great grand final, to say the least, as Clever Dicks applauds Chaza. He's beaten on the day by the better man, and Chaza's going to book his spot in that grand final. He takes on LA Maynard. It's going to be Switzerland going up against, I'm not too sure what team LA Maynard was, Denmark, if I'm correct, right? Yeah. I think it was Denmark, yeah. So a Switzerland-Denmark final, who would have had that down as the Euro grand final or final in general? Now, these are two players here, Daz, that are very, very well respected within the community. They're very well respected between each other as well. Mm-hmm. No doubt they played multiple times against each other and spoke to each other multiple times in terms of content. Now, I have no idea how this one's going to go. Judging off of the gameplay that I've seen, I think Chaza looks the more confident and more composed player at the moment. We saw LA Maynard, really struggle against the likes of Lad to Dad, for example, who, without trying to discredit Lad to Dad's probably a player that shouldn't be on LA Maynard's level just yet. And probably not nowhere near the level that Chazza is playing on, who's a consistent top 200, top 100 player. So this is going to be a really, really intriguing game. I think it's going to be sort of a battle of the brains slightly as well in terms of, pre-match starting 11 selections and formations, etc. However, we all know that a final in football is just a one-legged affair. It's, sort of whoever has the better day comes out with the silverware. Is it going to be LA Maynard or is it going to be Chazza? I just honestly don't know.
Yeah, I think my money, do you know what? I couldn't place my money anywhere. I think for me, just purely because we've seen a lot more of Chazza this tournament, I'd say him just with the pressure, the composure, everything like that. But Ellie Maynard is an incredible player, and he was everyone's favourite at the start of the tournament as well. So I'm absolutely buzzing for this game. I have no idea. Hopefully the chat can tell us who's going to win it though.
Yeah, we are going to see how this one plays out. And one thing to mention, we are going to go back to that traditional type of FIFA tournament play where we are going to see a home and an away leg in this final for you here. So we have to wait and see who has the home advantage to start things off. If you guys don't know the away goal rule, the best way to think about it is an away goal pretty much counts as 2 goals. That's the best way to think about it. If you lose 2-1 but you're the away team and you then win 1-0 at home, you advance through and take the silverware because of that added away goal bonus. Now, I don't know if that's going to be scrapped in FIFA next year in terms of tournaments, because it has been scrapped by all major European organisers in terms of the real world of football. I know the Champions League and the Europa League aren't doing it anymore. So we'll have to wait and see that next season. But am I excited to see a 2-legged affair against, 2 really, really talented players?
Yeah, it's so tough to call. I see a lot of people saying that they think Chaz is going to win. So, yeah, I have no idea. I think Chaz's pressure is just exceptional. And do you know what? I will be messing him after the stream as well to find out exactly how he does it to try and push myself up that leaderboard as well. When it comes to Daz Balor's time to join the tournament instead of commentating.
Yeah, who knows? We'll have to get you in the next one, and maybe we'll see Scotland appear at the Euro finals at least one way or another. Again, I can hear them outside with their pitchforks saying that. That's the first one we let you off on, but the second one not so much.
Yeah.
We are going to be playing 2 legs once again, guys. So we will have to wait and see what the aggregate scoreline comes out. We are going to be watching Chaz's point of view. I'm looking at my other monitor now. He seems like the vibes are up. No doubt the party tunes are on. He's got the world in motion blaring through his ears, to say the least, as both teams just setting themselves up here. And I think I'm going to have to probably slightly favour towards Chazza in terms of what I've seen just mainly off of this competition alone. I think LA Maynard, when playing against Lad to Dad and even Chris, he looked a little bit cagey at times. I know he went 2-1 down to Chris, did come back and win 3-2, so that's huge in terms of momentum for him. However, I think against someone like Chazza, you can't really afford to sort of start slow and come out the gates slightly slower. You've got to be, pretty much with your game face on straight away. You've got to be performing well. You've got to be pressing high, keeping the ball well, playing quick tick-attack of football, and not letting him have a chance to breathe, because that's exactly what Chazza will do to you. He's a player that will really press high up the field. Almost at times his whole back 4 or back 5 that we sometimes see him play are in your half, in between your 18-yard box and halfway line, sort of sitting on that centre circle. So you've got to kind of pretty much try and do the same to him. However, it sort of reminisces the likes of, in real life, for example, players or teams rather try to set up against Man City that way and they get cut apart. It's so hard to do. You've got to play literally perfect FIFA here against Chazza if you're LA Maynard, or it's looking likely Chazza might be the more clinical one.
I feel like LA Maynard, though, he's got the composure to play out the back. So if he wins it back, or if Chazza tries to win it high up the pitch, LA Maynard can probably quite easy, not so much easily, but he can certainly pass it around him to get back up the pitch. We've seen LA Maynard's skill with the bridge move as well against Lad to Dad. I think that's something that we'll see a lot in this game. Both of these players use it very often, especially on the edge of the box or as they're trying to get away from a defender. So yeah, I have no idea how this one's going to go. The 2 legs, I don't think it's going to be away goals actually. I think it's just straight up aggregate score, and then see what happens after that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Looks like we're adapting the new European rules and regulations slightly earlier here over at Balls Esports. Hey, listen, there's no point in giving these guys a chance to come to terms with it. Just throw them straight in. Why not? As we are just going to be going straight aggregate scoreline. So should things all be tied up after aggregate scoreline, we'll be heading to penalty shootouts or the extra times should we need it. And yeah, let's go. We're going to be heading into the game here, guys. It's grand final time. We're in the Wolves Esports Euro Invitational. We got Switzerland versus Denmark. Switzerland in the red strip, kicking from left to right. Denmark in the white, kicking from right to left. There's two teams, two players, two countries who have battled it out all the way throughout the bracket to reach this grand final here, Daz. And boy, are we in for a treat.
Oh, I literally can't wait. Now, one thing you'll notice from Chazza, he has a completely different camera angle to anybody else that we've seen. A lot closer. I don't know if that's something to do with the bridge move that he uses a lot. I mean, it must surely work in his favour, being a lot closer to the pitch and knowing how close the defender is to his striker. But it's a great through ball from Ellie Maynard. Oh, he's done very well. Great tackle.
I thought the ref had blown for a penalty for a second there. You know, sometimes when the camera angle moves slightly slow, you're like, oh no, what have I done? But a huge last-ditch tackle there from the Dane at the back. And already, we're starting to see here both players, they know what they're doing. They've got their favourable skill moves. You know, some fantastic footwork there from, I think it was Poulsen for Denmark, who just did a fantastic step over and dragged the ball onto that right foot of his. But, another great interception there, that time from Wilson. As already, both players, man, they're playing attacking football, and these guys are not setting up shop anytime soon.
No, I just don't know how... Oh, just let Chazza's attack run out here. Oh, it's a great cutback. What a goal. What a start. Oh, yeah, he shushes the camera as well.
Fasnach goes ahead within the first 10 minutes, taking his first chance in the game, taking Chazza's first chance in the game, and scoring the first goal for Switzerland as Chazza looks so strong. We mentioned it in the last game. He literally just needs a sniff of a chance and he'll score. Some calm, cool and composed finishing there. As already it is the upper hand in this first leg to Chazza, and it looks like he's feeling
Oh, there's a bridge move. Unbelievable. He's so fast, he's so clinical, and he is enjoying this, let me tell you.
He is really performing well. Shaqiri, they're going to double their lead within the first 50 minutes, within a matter of minutes, should I say. After we see the first goal go through, it's Shaqiri there to double things up for the Swiss. As if
see the NYK army on the right hand side in the chat with the W spam. They are all behind him right now.
And I think if you're LA Maynard, you're saying to yourself, look, we've been 1-0 down, we've been 2-1 down, we've been 2-0 down in this competition. We know how to come back and get ourselves back into it. And I think that might slightly play in the back of Chaz's mind. He knows that this is not done and dusted until he has signed, sealed, and delivered that silverware into the cabinet. Exactly. As we say that, the ball shifted onto the right-hand side. And we are going to see a snapshot towards goal, but a fantastic block from Mbabu there as catching practice for the keeper. But once again, though, look, within a matter of seconds, it's a counter-attack for Switzerland, and he's through on goal. It's going to be Shaqiri. He's going to go near post.
Oh, my good Lord.
Within 20 minutes here, for LA Maynard, not for LA Maynard, for Chazza and LA Maynard, he looks absolutely shell-shocked.
This is absolutely sensational play. Everyone tipped LA Maynard, literally everyone. Chazza this is incredible, to be fair. And you can tell, you can look at him, he's locked in. He's absolutely locked in right now. Focused.
And if you've got LA Maynard here, that's what do you do? What do you say to yourself, man, to get back in this game?
You know what, it's tough, because the head goes down. I mean, I've been in this position many a time. The head goes down so easily in a game of FIFA, especially 3-0 down after 20 minutes in a first leg of a final. I don't know if he's certainly not changed anything yet. Would he change anything? I don't know. But here we go with the pressure again as Chazza plays it through. Just got the tackle, no more.
Yeah, last-ditch tackle there from...
It's a great ball, though.
It's a great ball as that's going to set Olsen through on goal. Larson tries to take the shot, but an interception once again by Mbabu, and he has been so solid at the back for the Swiss throughout this whole tournament, I feel. And just like that, he plays a fantastic ball to Shaqiri. This is going to be 4-0 inside the first 27 minutes. No, it's not. A fantastic save out of Schmeichel there.
See, again, we're talking about missed chances. Ellie Maynard's too good a player for that. He could certainly take that as some sort of motivation to come back into this game.
Yeah, how costly is that miss going to be from Chazza as we see LA Maynard now shifting the ball around the 18-yard box, and fantastic interception everywhere. Fernandez. As I say that, the ball's trying to just make some sort of space in and around that 18-yard box, but Chazza is so good at winning that ball back. We mentioned how good he is at pressing anywhere on the pitch, in particular on the edge of his own 18-yard box. He's such a good tackler. Like, his one-on-one defending is so good.
So good. And even, like I say, when Ellie's got the ball back in defence, Chazza's pressing. He's all over him like a rash, and now he's away down the left-hand side again.
It's going to be Mohamedi. Plays it back to Benito. Benito into Fernandez. Fernandez to Shaqiri. Stefan. Shaqiri once again. The confidence is really, really showing here for Chazza. His one-touch football, it's like he's not even having to think about what he's doing. He's just doing it.
Yeah, 100%. He's, like I say, he's so focused. I mean, he's very, very good at reading his chat while he's streaming, and right now he is not even taking a peep. He's so focused right now. He wants to see this game into half-time without conceding a goal.
And I think if he goes in at half-time at 3-0, you know, you're looking at a two-legged affair that you've pretty much got to reset your mentality, and LA Maynard's got to do to Chazza what Chazza is doing to him right now, and that is just dominate him completely all over the pitch. I don't even think we've really seen much of a contest here. It's been so one-sided. I think I've counted maybe 1 or 2 chances for LA Maynard in this game, but they've not even been clear-cut chances at that. They've just been sort of half snapshots on the edge of the penalty area that he's somehow mustered up. But
yeah, don't get me wrong though, LA Maynard is still a very good player that could easily come back in this game.
Mbabu there once again though, Daz. He's so good at that.
So good. Mbabu, everyone will know that plays Ultimate Team. Mbabu at centre back is like a Varane on steroids. I tell you, he's unbelievable. So Chazza knows exactly what he's doing playing him there. LA just can't get out.
As soon as the ball is recovered from LA here, he's just constantly straight back at the feet. Shaqiri on his left foot.
Oh, unbelievable.
Into the bottom corner.
I was just going to say, that extra pass, I know for a fact I wouldn't have made that extra pass, but the goalkeeper moved over to the other side of the goal because the boy was in the middle, ready to take the shot. Played this wee extra pass to Shaqiri. Goalkeeper's on the other side, goal.
And if you're... Daz, if you're LA right now, do you just try and damage limitation it right now, not concede, try and get a consolation goal and make your life easier going into the second leg? Because right now, this game's looking done before we've even got into the second leg.
Yeah, second leg, second half. We've not even got the second half of the first game yet, and now it comes up to half time. But do you know what? I think you're absolutely right. Maybe look at just damage limitation, don't concede anymore. For LA to get back into this game, he cannot concede on a goal in this whole game. He needs to get one back as well if he can. But, I mean, he's still a very, very good player, so there's every chance that he can.
And I've just looked at the stats. LA has had 1 shot on target. He has had 2 shots in the whole game here, Daz. The possession completely favours Chazza as well. And that sort of tells you all you need to know about how one-sided this first half has been. But 45 minutes left, 6 minutes in real time for LA to try and, put himself a little bit closer in terms of daylight to him and a Chazza before we head into that second leg. Because at the moment, if you're a fan of LA, it's really uncomfortable to watch here as Chazza is just going from strength to strength. And there's just so many unanswered questions as Braithwaite tries to find a through ball, but immediately intercepted. And just like that, we see the counter-attack nearly sprung already.
Yeah, it's better from LA, though. He's getting... Oh, it's a penalty! Oh, it's one of those ones, though. One of those ones where I don't think it was a penalty. He has to score. Chazza getting in his head, moving the goalkeeper, and he saves it! Massive save!
And you can see the reaction as well. That is just one of those situations where you've got to score from. How costly is that going to be? It's going to be catching practice or punching practice for the keeper, should I say. As LA is absolutely going to be kicking himself right now, Daz. He knows that, that situation, you put it 4-1, you try and make it 4-2 before the second game and you're back in it. But I think that just sums up the sort of final that is happening right here.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to affect LA. That's going to be a tough one to take, knowing that you can get back into the game, like you say. He gets that penalty, Chazza maybe starts to waver a little bit, but no, what a save. Goalkeepers fancying punching this out of play twice in a row.
Yeah, not too sure if he's been watching Mike Tyson demos on review, but he definitely likes a right hand, to say the least. As I love this from Chazza, though. He just brings his keeper out so aggressively, and it's pretty much catching or punching practice 9 times out of 10. And it's another corner. I think this is the 6th corner in a row now that I've counted for LA, and he's got to make one of them count, surely, as ball whipped in and a great defensive header away. The ball drops to Was, however. Jensen now trying to twist and turn his way on the edge of the 18-yard box. Drives towards the byline as he's trying to get a cross in, but once again, a solid piece of defensive work, and it goes out for another Denmark corner.
You're talking about that, bringing the goalkeeper out from Chazza so aggressive and whatnot. That just makes LA have to make a difficult decision as to what he does with the corner. You see a lot of people just keeping the goalkeeper on the line, and then it's a swing in, front post goal. just little things like that just make such a difference to a top level player.
And it's a big mental thing as well, and it's sort of like a bit of a mind game trick to say, like, look, if you cross this ball, you know, you've got to do something special to beat me.
Yeah.
You've got to put together a set piece to even get the ball in the penalty area, let alone away from my keeper. And the ball now falls to Shaqiri. Shaqiri plays it back. Ball goes out wide now, and
Great ball.
Mohamedi on the sprint. Is he going to get there ahead of the right back? He does, and no doubt we're going to see some twisting and turning. And the ball tries to recycle its way back towards the edge of the 18-yard box. It does just that as Fernandez now on the ball. Is he going to get onto that right foot and take a shot? He decides to slip Shaqiri in.
Oh,
Ball intercepted by Mohamedi. Fake shots it round.
what's going on?
I thought he was going to go down and win a penalty there.
Aye.
If you're Chazzy, you're just screaming, go down. Why didn't you
Go
come down? As he could have had a penalty and put it as a potential 5-0 scoreline in the first game. But, you know, let's say honest play there from Mohamedi as he elects to stay on his feet. But is that going to prove costly?
Oh, good interception. Oh, see LA. See this pressure again. Pressure again. So good. LA cannot concede again.
Every time he touches the ball, though, he's just instantly losing it.
Yeah.
And it's just pure pressure and ruthless aggression, really, in terms of interceptions from Chazza. He can't get anywhere near him. Stefan tries to cut the ball with the right foot.
The mental side of things as well. LA knowing, you start to panic more and more as the pressure builds. So Chazza knows what he's doing with that. We've seen him doing it every single game. I don't know how he does it, like I say, but LA needs to just get this one chance, get a goal at least. If it can go into the next game 4-1 down, much better prospect in that second leg.
Yeah, I think 3-0 is a very much doable scoreline in terms of FIFA. But when you get into the likes of a 4 or a 5, it's slightly harder in terms of, you know, you got to pretty much be 2 or 3-0 up at half time to give yourself any sort of shot or running in this game, especially with how well Chaz is playing. Another fantastic bridge. He's going to cut in on his right foot and take a shot here. He's going to make it 6. No, it's not, as Schmeichel's there to beat it away. As how many chances has, to be fair with you, though, Chaz has missed a lot of chances in this game.
He has. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it could have been even higher of a scoreline. So, Chazza, I don't know if I don't think he's going to rue those missed chances, if I'm being completely honest. But you know what FIFA's like.
I mean, I'm just thinking back to it, like, you know, there was one missed chance, there was the penalty as well. This could be 4-2, to be honest with you. And
yeah, 100%.
It's a very different game going into that second leg, only having a 2-goal deficit. But a 4-goal deficit is such a hard thing to bring back within FIFA. You know, no matter how good a player you are, he needs to score in this leg. He needs to score 100% in the next 15 minutes and make sure he doesn't concede.
I've not seen anything from this game so far, unfortunately for Ellie Maynard, that would suggest that he can go and beat Chazza 4-0 in the second leg. It's a great bridge, though. Come on, give us a goal. Give us a goal. Oh, see, Chazza there, just stopped dead, didn't even move. Ellie ended up running into him.
Now the counter-attack's on. It's 3 versus 3, make it 4 versus 4 as one player's overlapping on the back post. As every time that Chazza touches the ball, you think he's going to score here, Daz. I mean, I don't know about you, but he's just looking so ruthless and so clinical on the ball. And I like this here. He's literally 4-0 up, but he's just keeping possession, just toying with his opponent, waiting for the gaps and cracks to form in the back line of Denmark. As look, they've got the ball and they've given it straight away as well. And I think LA's forcing it a little bit here. LA's forcing the play too much, and it's just playing straight into the hands of Chazza.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm seeing a few comments in the chat about take that Shaqiri off of Chazza, because he is doing absolute bits this tournament.
Yeah, we already know how good a Shaqiri can be in real life, let alone FIFA, especially with that cap at 90. He's such a small, nippy, nimble player, as well as having such good agility, strength and balance. He's so hard to knock off the ball, and you know, he plays into the style of Chazza really well, you know, using that bridge, those quick turns on the edge of the 18-yard box and in and around the penalty area. You know, really uses them to the best of his abilities here. As
Can't concede. Ellie Maynard tried to pause the game about 10 in-game minutes ago. He's not going to have the chance, I don't think. Oh, we see there again. See, I don't know if it's the weak foot. He doesn't know the weak foot of the player. Oh, Chazza, if he scores here, it's all over in my eyes. Nice. Goal kick. No, he's kept in. One more attack.
How many times have we seen Denmark give the ball away again? They're just forcing the ball, just trying to overplay through with one, you know, trying to hit like a 60-yard through ball along the floor is such a hard task to do, and he just keeps giving the ball away. That's going to be... And this looks like it's going to be, you know, pretty much curtains for LA here.
Well, go down the middle again. He's going to go down the middle.
This is big mental games here right now, because he's already missed one penalty this evening against Cleverdix.
He's gone down the middle. He's gone down the middle. Oh, he's missed it. Oh, no way.
He's actually tried to Pinacre it, I think, down the middle, but
he's done it again. Will he come through that? I'm not so sure, but Jesus, he should have just buried that. Played it safe. Bottom corner. Game over. Oh, just as the ref blows his whistle.
Yeah, and it's, you know, a solid performance from Chazza once again. Didn't look in trouble at all throughout that whole game. I think one shot on target, like I said, registered for LA Maynard. Now going into this second leg, you know, you must be absolutely shell-shocked in terms of, you know, what to think or do if you're LA Maynard. Do you even say, is there any point of even playing the second leg because it was that much of a stomping, you know? So
true.
We are going to see a 4-0 aggregate scoreline lead for Switzerland. So Denmark needing to score at least 4 goals to force extra time, and that's without, you know, any sort of reply coming back from Chazza. And if you ask me, just watching Chazza after he went 1-0 down in the first game we saw today, he looks like he gets even more confident when he goes 1-0 down and his back's against the wall slightly. So it looks like Switzerland look like the team to beat.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how LA plays this game, though. He has to go for it. So will that play into Chazza's hands and Chazza ends up running over him? I don't know, but I mean, from the word go, LA is going to have to go all guns blazing.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you don't know if it will play into his hands. I think it probably will, because he's a player that presses so high up as well that if he nicks the ball back, those gaps form so quickly in the centre of midfield and along his back four as well. And we mentioned how good he is with Shaqiri, for example, a player who will twist and turn in tight spaces to free up the likes of a Stefan, for example, you know, up front, who's already scored a hat-trick in that first game. But we are going to kick it off in the second leg here. Once again, Switzerland in the red, kicking from left to right, and Denmark kicking from right to left in the white kit. As we are going to get things rock and rolling underway. As it's all up to LA here, really, Daz, to sort of get himself back in this game. Early predictions, anything you're going to hope to see from LA?
Aggression. We need to see him go for it. We need to see him. He had, what did you say, about 2 or 3 shots in the last game after that? So we need to see more. We need to absolutely see more. Just try to get the game on now. I'm just watching it on a separate screen as Chazza has just scored. Chazza has just scored. It's came through now. Up, just like that, 2 minutes in.
Yeah, sorry, so as I accidentally had my mic muted for a second there as I was typing away, and that's the worst possible start you could have if you're LA Maynard. He looks deflated in terms of his gameplay right now, and Chaz is pretty much in cruise control. It's more of a when's he going to win the game, more so than an if he wins. But LA now is going to pick up a free kick, and I thought he wasn't for a second.
He just has, yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, we talk about how your head goes down playing FIFA if things don't go your way, and when you're good save, he moved the goalkeeper there, I think. But just as I was saying that, you go into the second leg looking at a 4-0 deficit, you try to come back, and then you're 1-0 down within 2 minutes. You know, how do you react to that?
I mean, you know, it's a big mental thing, like you've just said. I think you've got to try and say to yourself, Daz, that, you know, you got to try and give yourself a bit of delusional confidence. You got to say to yourself, look, okay, we're 5-0 down or whatever, but we can still do it. You know, crazy things have happened in a game of FIFA, and it only takes one goal for the momentum to swing my way. And I think he needs to get that early goal within this first half, you know, before going into the second half to make it somewhat doable. But Chazza just looks so good on the ball right now. Everything he's touching is turning to gold, to say the least anyway, as Mohamed finds Shaqiri, as I think he tries to pull off the bridge. The ball gets through a near post strike, and he is vibing, he's dancing, he's singing. It's Michael Bublé in his prime, apparently.
Game over.
Yeah, I can't see LA Maynard coming back now. Is it 7-0 on aggregate, I believe, or 6-0 rather, should I say, after a 4-0 win in the first leg. And if you're LA, you're just absolutely deflated right now, and you're just trying to make sure this doesn't go into double digits.
Yeah, 100%. I did not see this coming at all. We kind of tipped and thought, I did put my if I had to choose, I did say Chaza, but I mean, I did not expect anything like this at all. Unfortunately, from LA Maynard, I've just not seen anything at all to get past Chaza. I don't know if it's Chaza's defensive or if LA's kind of ran out of ideas to get past Chaza and maybe the head's dropped. I don't know, but I did not expect this whatsoever.
I think he's just come up against a player that's just better than him. I think that's honestly what it is. I think he's just come up against someone that just knows exactly what to do to win a game of FIFA. It looks like LA knows what Chaz is. Oh, sorry, it looks like Chaz knows what LA is going to do before he even does it when he goes forward. I've mentioned how much of a fan I have been of the manual defending from Chazza for the whole game and the manual controlling of the players and these centre mids, and he's been doing it fantastically well. And yeah, he just looks like a man on a mission, and that mission is to take home the Wolves Esports Euros Invitational. Was again, the ball's intercepted, it falls through. Controlling it with the inside of his right foot. They're living life a little bit dangerously, but yeah, right now Chaz is just sort of just rolling his way through this game.
Yeah, there's no way back for Ellie now. The pressing again, as always, from every single game that we've seen of Chazza. It's just Ellie has just tried to pause it though, so I'd be interested to see what he's going to try and do. But it's just absolutely mental. I mean, there's no way out for LA, which is a great bridge though. See, just that pass.
And he just can't find the shot. Oh, fantastic!
Hold on.
The goal finally comes from Denmark, and it's going to be Larsen who finds it. And okay, are we going to start to see a little bit of a
game on, perhaps?
A game on here potentially. Look, there's still a long way to go in this game, and there's still a lot of work. However, for Denmark to do, they have still got to reduce that extra 4-goal deficit still. Or I think it might even be a 5-goal deficit now to send things through to extra time. And already you can see Chazza didn't like the fact that he conceded, and he's going to try and make his way and put that 3rd goal on the board straight away.
Yeah. Ellie gets the next goal though. You never know. If you can get one before half-time, go into half-time at 2-2, you never know. But it's going to be difficult for him. He seems to be a bit more aggressive now.
Yeah, I think he seems to have found out that he can move the ball slightly quicker and create some trouble here for Chazza. As you mentioned, he likes that ball roll into the scoop turn. He tries it there, but just unfortunately gets shut down. And it's that man in Babu at the back again. So solid. Mohammedi steaming through on goal. He's 1-on-1. Has he got the legs to beat the last defender? He doesn't. As it's a huge last man challenge. And I don't think Chazza's too impressed with that defender catching his striker there. And now it's going to be LA who's on the front foot.
End to end. It's end-to-end stuff, although LA just needs to be a bit more clinical. You see it breaking down not too often in this area.
And I think LA is just half a yard too slow at times here, Daz, as Shaqiri's going through. We told him we need to get him taken off as he's too good with Shaqiri. He's too good. Again.
Just like that. He's doing press-ups. He knows what he's doing. He's showing off now. Shaqiri, the absolute beast, puts him 3-1 up. Chaz is still doing press-ups. He just does not care. He knows the game's over right now.
Showing it off for the fans slightly as well by the sounds of it, as he's living in his element. As for a second I thought LA Maynard might have made things a little bit interesting going into the second half, but we mentioned though that Chaz is one of those players that always replies with conceding with another goal, and we've seen every time he's conceded in this tournament that he's pretty much gone and scored within 5 or 10 minutes straight afterwards, and keeping that hot streak running. As it's 3-1 now, but there is a little bit of time left. I can't really see LA doing anything though to cause him any trouble here, Daz.
No, not at all. No, I think it's too late now. What's that? 7-1 down with only a half of football to go in FIFA. There's absolutely no chance getting 6 goals. Unfortunately, LA is such a good player, and that just goes to show you how good Chaz has been especially this tournament. As LA goes through though, tries to bend, and it just goes to. I don't know if I'm sure that player's got 2 weak foot. I've never seen him make a pass or a shot yet.
Yes, again, we sometimes mention that it's sort of these players aren't maybe used to the play style, for example, of some of these players. As I think my camera has momentarily froze, so to apologise. I'm not laid back on my chair at the moment. Again, it's just pure. I don't want to say lack of understanding of the players, but these guys are used to having these prime icons, for example, when they're in their foot 11s that have 5-star weak foot. They're used to having the likes of an Mbappe or a Ronaldo, a Messi, all who have 4 or 5-star weak foot that they can do anything at any time, and it 9 times out of 10 works. I think that's why Chaz has been so successful in this game because he's got the ball into the feet of Shaqiri, for example, who's a very skillful player. I think he's got a 3-star weak foot. I don't think he's got a 4-star weak foot. I think that left foot is slightly more favourable. However, though, he's adapted to that play style that he knows he's got to get the ball into Shaqiri's feet because he's so quick at turning with the ball, and that's why he's so good, especially with that, that right stick dribbling.
Yeah, no, 100%. It seems to be his go-to man. He's always trying to find that pass into Shaqiri. And like I say, a lot of people were talking about it in the chat as well, about get Shaqiri off of Chaza, because it's not even fair at this point. So yeah, it's been a joy to watch at times, to be fair. It's mad. His pressure, his composure. And like I kept saying earlier on, Ellie is such a good player as well. So it goes to show how good Chaz is.
Yes, exactly. And Chaz is just... he's having fun as well, right? And you mentioned LA is a high elite level player. He's hit the leaderboards a few times as well, I think you said. So for Chaz to just be absolutely walking through him like he's not even really much of a competition just shows how much of a solid player Chaz is. And then that makes you think how good these high level pro players are, right? If a player like Chaz is sort of nowhere near the pro level of gameplay, and I don't want any of his NYK army coming after me for saying that, but it just shows the skill gap in FIFA, for example, between the best of the best and the best of the content creators or streamers, should you say. So half an hour to go here, or 35 minutes, should I say, rather, as it's a matter of time really here before we name Chazza as our Euro Invitational.
Well, get the goal. It's too little, too late, unfortunately. Where was this when you were only 2-0 down?
And where was this in the first game? Right.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
If this is the first leg here, right, you're saying, okay, cool, we're chilling right now. We're only 1-0 down going into the second leg, but to be sort of ran through and run over like he was so easily in the first leg, it was really uncomfortable to watch. A fantastic back heel. Mohammedy's going to go through.
The battle, good save. The back heel.
And it's just, I don't know what to say really in terms of just praising Chazza. I don't want to sound like a broken record and be too one-sided, but again, that bridge comes through. He's so good at that, Chazza, man. He pulls it out of anywhere at any time.
Yeah, we spoke about it the first game. As soon as we seen him, first 5-10 minutes of the first game against Serge, or first half an hour or whatever, you could just tell the type of player that Chazza is, with the bridges, the pressure, the composure, and he's just showed it in every single round now. He played some very, very good players throughout this tournament as well, as Chazza scores again to make it 8-2 on aggregate.
It's a bit of a celebration coming through here for Chaz. He's had enough. He's going to bed. It's all right. It's becoming boring now. It's too easy for me to score goals, apparently. As he does realise kick comes on. So
disrespect, by the way. The disrespect.
And that's just confidence out of Chaz. These guys won't take anything too seriously. They know it's all fun and games. It's all for your guys' viewing entertainment at home and just a bit of fun between a load of content creators and friends.
Absolutely.
But for the first time, I think we've actually seen Chazza give the ball away, and even then, the interception comes through.
Babu.
He's so good in Babu. We see it a lot in foot as well, or at least we did see it towards the start of the season. Putting him in that centre-back role, right? He's just so solid, so strong. Yeah. It probably doesn't surprise any of the seasoned FIFA players in here that we're seeing that. I think that was one thing that we almost expected to see instantly from Switzerland as soon as we saw Chazza on it.
Chazza can get away with that kind of stuff now. He can get away with it. I don't know what he's doing now. He's going to do some more celebrations. He's some boy. But 8-2 on aggregate against one of the best players is certainly one of the top players in this tournament. Is an unbelievable scoreline.
Unbelievable indeed, and I think that sums up the way that Chazza is actually playing. It's just such a good performance out of him. Everything he's done and touches has turned to gold, and sometimes, when you're playing this good, everything, the stars sort of seem to align, everything goes your way, Daz.
Yeah.
And, no matter what, no matter what really happens in the game, you could be playing awfully, but things still seem to go right for you.
No, 100%. We're running out of words to say about Chazza in this whole tournament, let alone this game, but it's just, it's mad. I reckon it's going to be another couple of goals in this as well, and I can't wait to see what celebrations are going to pull out.
We are going to see a change. Christian Eriksen has come onto the pitch, of course. We know the the unfortunate situation and the horrible circumstances that had happened in that game that Denmark was in at the start of the Euros. We obviously do all wish Christian the best of support. I know I speak for myself, no doubt probably you as well, Daz, and everyone at Wolves SC and Wolves Esports. It's great to see that he is, healthy and safe, but hopefully he can impress in the virtual world here and bag a goal at least for LA Maynard. As I say that, the offside trap is not going to be sprung once again, as I think it was Stefan who just strays offside. It's 15 minutes to play here, Daz. It's just pretty much just a bit of a waiting room here before we see Chazza lift that trophy as Mohammedi with the rainbow flick. Is he going to smash it on the volley? He is.
He's showing off. He's showing off.
That would have been one for the YouTube highlight reel if that went in, to say the least. He's feeling so confident, man. So confident.
I think Ellie just wants the game over now. I really do. Get this game over with, enjoy your runners-up medal, and say goodbye to the stream before Chazza joins it and rinses him a new one.
Rinses him a new one, to say the least, as well. As just 10 minutes left here for Chazza before he goes ahead and secures himself that final victory. As just to update you guys at home, if you care about the real world of scoring, Denmark doing a slightly better job in the real world in comparison to the virtual world. They are currently 1-0 up in the Euros against Wales. It was Dolberg who scores after 27 minutes there. About to kick off the second half in that one. And as I say that, we've actually seen a fifth goal here for Switzerland. As
will it make it 10-2? 10-2 on aggregate incoming.
This is really uncomfortable to watch if you're a fan of LA as well. We all know how much of a great player he is, and he's just been really took to the cleaners here by Chazza.
Yeah. Like you said it from the first game, putting on a clinic. God, he's every single game that we've seen now.
Just 5 minutes to go here, guys. Let me see the NYK spams in the chat if you're a fan of Chazza, as it looks like he's going to secure himself the first ever Wolves Esports Euro Invitational. He got given Switzerland. He says it doesn't matter if you give me Switzerland, you can give me anyone. I'm the best FIFA player here, and he has proved that today. As even still, with a current 9-2 aggregate scoreline, he's not stopping. He wants the double digits. He wants the 10th goal, as it's just such a solid performance out of him at the moment, and he's just looking really, really comfortable.
I think he's going to go for a goal from the corner as well. He is. It isn't far away.
And yeah, he's just looking so confident, even shooting from the corner flag, as we actually saw that earlier on. I think it was Klevdix who took that shot against Chazza, actually. There's the ball at the feet of Waz now. And one thing to mention as well is just look at the stamina difference. Every single player from Chazza, even though he's playing a high, aggressive, fast-paced tempo, they've still all got pretty much half stamina left.
Yeah, and I'm looking at LA Maynard's as well. The stamina is in the red.
And that just goes to show how much he's been run ragged, right? He's literally just had the ball taken off of him all the time. And, you would have thought sometimes the team that presses the most would be the one that are knackered, but they've just got constant control of the ball. That means the other team's got to run around like headless chickens indeed, as it's going to be Chazza, NYK Chazza, ladies and gentlemen. Huge congratulations to him. Takes the first ever Wolves Esports Euro Invitational. I'm just watching the stream up now as he's got his shades on. He's singing a song. It's definitely coming home back to the NYK army this evening. As a huge congratulations to him. But Dazman, what a tournament we've just seen.
Unbelievable. Yeah, do you know what? I was excited from the moment I woke up this morning, and it did not fail to deliver. LA Maynard, big shout out to him. Like I say, what a player he is. Chazza is just absolutely relentless, especially today. I've never seen anything like it. The pressure, the composure, very well deserved winner. Do you know what? What a tournament. What a tournament.
What a tournament indeed. And I think, you know what? If you guys at home enjoy, please let us know over on our social medias as well as in the chat. I would love to be back and have, another chance to be involved in one of these things. Definitely want to stay on the side of the desk and the microphone. I don't want to get, absolutely embarrassed in terms of gameplay by these amazing players. But yeah, Daz, I mean, I've had fun. I hope you've enjoyed it as well.
No, absolutely, yeah. Thanks again to Wilkes for having me commentating. It was really very enjoyable. And I'm just thinking I'm going to be with you and sat this side of the desk because I do not want to come up against Chaza, LA, or the likes of that. So I'll stay here.
Yeah, huge congratulations to NYK Chaza and the NYK Army as they go ahead and pick up that silverware for Switzerland. Commiserations to the other 15 competitors, in particular, of course, LA Maynard, who falls in that grand final two-legged affair. But unfortunately, guys, that is all we have got time for here at the Wolves Esports Euro Invitational. Make sure you guys go ahead and follow us on our social medias. All of those can be found in the panel below. Make sure you let us know if you've enjoyed it. Tweet us your best clips and favorite goals. You know, Daz has had a good time. I've had a great time. I've been your host and caster, John P. That's been Daz. We appreciate you tuning in. And until next time, stay safe. We'll see you guys soon.
Thank you.